Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Pipeline Podcast, episode 121. I am joined for a very, very special episode. Year 2 of, I think we called ourselves the Ben 10 Illuminati last year, something crazy like that. I am joined once again by a group of fellow Ben 10 content creators. We were joined last year talking about the current state of the Ben 10 franchise, and we're back at it once again. First up, I am joined by SMV. Hello, buddy. How's it going?
It's going great. I'm happy. I'm excited to be here. Nothing gets me going like talking about Ben 10 with the boys. So I'm excited.
Amazing. I'm joined by Ramen. Hello, Ramen. How's it going?
Yeah, happy to be here talking about Ben 10 again with the boys. And SMV, I gotta say one thing, bro. You're glowing like freaking.
I know.
Diamond,
I'm
like a diamond, my man.
I'm refractive right now. Here, I think it's a little better.
Yo, thanks for having me, yo.
Amazing. Yeah, of course. And, of course, we are joined by the CEO of Fast Track himself, Dan Boy Wonder. How's it going?
That's my legacy, huh? What up, y'all?
Is that your still, #1 video on YouTube?
I think so. Not by much.
That's a legendary first place, if so.
Of all first places, though.
Fast Track finally won.
Damn. His only win. That's kind of crazy.
Wait, you defending Fast Track or you against Fast Track?
I was defending him, bro, a little bit.
Man,
No. It's funny. It's funny because people were like, "You're supposed to be defending Fast Track, but you're really just hating on him." I was just like, "Look, bro, he don't have that many moments, so like I had to talk about it. I every moment I tried to make sure, he the GOAT. I tried to make sure that he was tell everybody he's.
No, I defend Fast Track too. It's just those comments you get on TikTok about it, and people will be like, "Man, this is just a knockoff Accelerate." I'm like, "Damn, man, okay."
Him,
I feel like he shows up a lot more than the casual fans probably remember in that last season of Ultimate Alien. He's definitely not just a one and done replacement alien. I still like him.
Yeah, they tried to give him some depth. He shows up a bit. And then he gets cooked half the time he shows fuck up, so it's kind of
He showed up more than Atomics, and that's all that matters
true.
for me.
That is
I
true.
might even talk about him one day. I got it. I've been thinking about
just
Damn.
my only criticism, just change the color. If you would just change the color, I'd be like, you know what, we're in.
The
Make 'em
Fast
red.
Track.
Yeah,
I think the
make 'em
blue is
red.
pretty clean.
It
But-
is clean.
I like the blue and black.
It's hard to visualize something else.
Maybe
'cause we've seen him for so long.
some black and yellow, bro, and play that black and yellow
That's
song when you
that's
run.
low star thing, bro. You can't do that.
Nah, man. Give that black and yellow to somebody else, man.
I thought you was gonna discredit my boy.
Yeah, no. I mean, last time we were on, we were kind of talking about the current era of Ben 10 and kind of what we thought was going to happen going into the next year. And I think 2024 was a very interesting year for Ben 10. Well, we still haven't got anything.
Not a damn thing happened. That's what.
We got one thing.
Or movie. I think it was technically, I think, the best year we had in quite a few years, right? We had obviously the major thing being that comic book that was announced. We're getting a new Ben 10 comic, which is a win. We had those Ultimate Alien packets. We have T-shirts being made. We have that other Cartoon Network show that's featuring Ben 10. So, it's something. I don't think what we wanted to get out of 2024, but I mean, it's not on my list of questions here. But what do you guys think we're gonna get with that comic? Like what direction are we taking that?
Shit, somebody go first. I already made 2 videos about it.
Yeah, Dan has made videos, but I honestly have no idea. I really zero, because we haven't really heard anything about it other than they're making it. So
right.
I guess I'll have to wait until we find out at least one other thing, because I could see it being a continuation, but I don't know like I don't know enough about like Dynamite. I don't know enough like I think I have to wait it out. And
Somebody
see.
told me that they made the Boys comics or published them or some shit like that.
Was the
Oh really?
Was the premise for this Ben 10 comic that was announced? Did it leak or
No.
was there any
No,
major
nothing.
plots?
We,
Nothing.
we,
So
we know what's happening and we know it comes out this year. That's it.
Yeah.
That's
Bro.
literally it.
damn, I would
Yeah.
love to know about what the comic is, bro. Because man, it could be anything, bro. But I'm hoping it's something with Ben 10K, dude, or something,
That'd be
man.
fun.
Yeah.
Actually, I would argue that's probably the best way to do that character would be in the comic book. Like I think they could write that better than like a TV show could. Not to say they couldn't do a show, because I think they probably could. But if you were to do, I think that'd probably be the best way to do it. In my little dream world with this whole thing, I'd be like, okay, continue the continuity via comic, pick up that story, and then when we eventually get that new show, you can be like, okay, this is a new continuity. And that's so we kind of get the best of both worlds, where we get to continue the world we love, and a new generation gets to pick up a new version of the character, and kind of please both sides of the fandom. I think would be like ideal for me, but we'll see, I guess.
Yeah. On the real, Ben 10K, cool and all, but I don't really need that. And in my opinion, what I said, basically to reiterate what I've said in my past 2 videos on it, I want to see them do something new. I want to see them start from the beginning, but give us something new, you know, take it in a different direction, bro. Like reboot this shit a little bit, you know. That's basically what I said. I think Ben 10 has that same like it factor as like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles does.
I agree.
Where you can just like where it can be applied to any medium, have any tone, and it can be successful. I know niggas hate the reboot, but they put it in a tone. And while listening, now while everybody wanted the action, serious shit, the reboot did his job as a comedy show. That's why I think Ben 10 can do his job as a comic series, serious show. Like it has the ability to just like flex itself and fit in any sort of dynamic. So that's why I was like, let it do something new, let it tell a new story, and let it go in the direction that it wants to go in. Whether it is super serious, whether it is super childish, whatever it is.
Right.
Yeah, I'm with Dan. I would either want it to be something new to do with Ben, like reboot it, like just start all over again, add some new elements to it, maybe do something new with the watch, you know, because say what you want about the reboot, but they pushed those Omnitrix gimmicks to the max, bro. They really were trying to bring people in, and like they succeeded because they made a shit ton of toys out of that reboot, man.
I also think some of the Omnitrixes do look pretty cool. I like
they have cool ones. And like season 3, I think maybe had like a cool like white one. I thought that one.
Yeah, that's my favorite one, the white one.
Yeah.
Some good ones,
Yeah,
that one had a cool toy too. That was like one of the rare like reboot Omnitrixes that I got. It was like the white one. I was like, man, this looks cool in real life too.
My shit is better than Vilgax, man.
Yeah, no, like I 100% agree, Dan. Like I think especially when people are talking about like bringing the show back and doing more from that continuity, it's like there was 18 seasons of that original continuity. That is hard to be like, okay, get caught up to now and to like get caught up with this new show, you know, with a show that's been off the air for what almost 10 years now since Omniverse ended.
It was just I know the Ink Tank just had that like 10-year anniversary stream with the Omniverse cast. So yeah, it must be.
And I mean, speaking of which, like the whole reason we're here today, mainly, or my excuse for being here, is like it is the 19th anniversary of the classic show, which I don't know about you guys, I don't like being older than a 19th anniversary of a TV show, of a show I grew up on.
Yeah, that older than Ben 10. That's crazy. I really think about that.
I know, isn't that crazy?
I beat it by a little bit.
Damn,
I'm too old for this shit.
A couple of unks in here, bro.
But yeah, we're going to be jumping in. I think we're going to jump right into today's episode. You guys sent in a bunch of questions, either from a Dan's page or anyone else who helped me reshare it from the tweet I posted on social media. We have about 20-30 questions here that people sent in. We're not going to be talking about all of them. That's why we have a wonderful wheel. So let me go over to this page really quickly. Here we go.
Oh, is that first?
Here we go. So that is not our first question. I forgot to undo it after testing it. I'm so sorry.
Erasing it from my mind.
Erasing it from your mind, absolutely. So yeah, we're gonna be getting into our question here. Anyone watching today, if you want to also pitch in what your thoughts on each question would be, go for it. Absolutely, we would love to hear your queries on the question. So let's give this thing our first spin, and let me know if you need me to like zoom it in once it kind of pops up here. See. Okay, this one actually goes very much what we were just talking about. If Ben 10 had a new gimmick to the reboot, what would you want it to be? So if you did a new Ben 10 show and you had to create a new gimmick like an ultimate, like a you know what the reboot did, like the fusions. I know gimmicks are kind of a hot take within the Ben 10 community. We can dive into that too if you want. But if you had to choose one, what would it be?
Give him a new gimmick. That's an interesting question. See, I don't know, because I feel like most of Ben's like gimmicks are like fucking like the ultimate. I think the ultimates is really like the most creative they probably got.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of them were just then like armor, which don't get me. I think what was the first one called? Omni enhancements. I think those were like the best.
Omni enhance.
It tied into the new alien, so that type of shit. But I don't really know how to really give him a new one that's also like interesting. Because my type of gimmicks, I like the like the fusions or the ultimates a little bit, just because they're more like power ups instead of just like lame armor.
Right.
So I would probably go with something like maybe you can give each alien like a sort of like extra power up. Let's say like when Ben really locks in with an alien. I'm putting in video game terms, right? Let's say when Ben reaches like level 10 mastery with Heat Blast, right? Let's say you can start doing some crazy shit.
Yo, he can shoot ice, bro.
Like real shit. Like maybe like when he reached that level 10 mastery, he's able to shoot blue fire or some cold ass shit like that.
Hell yeah, man.
Something that's like obtainable and kind of like usable, and it's also like visually different. Like maybe when he reaches straight up mastery, kind of like, I don't know, this might be a deep cut, but I know Ninjago had like the whole hidden potential thing. Maybe they do something like that.
Hello, Diz.
Oh, what's up, bro?
Hello.
I had like 10 minutes to hop in real quick.
Look who's
What's
really
up,
like,
homie? You looking like a
How's it
teacher about to give us attention for talking about Ben 10.
I had like a 10-minute break.
Surprise cameo.
Surprise cameo,
Yeah.
Absolutely. We're just talking about Ben 10 gimmicks. If we were to add a new Ben 10 gimmick to the Omnitrix, do you have any ideas?
I'm not really the biggest fan of the gimmicks. I think Master Control is like the best. Ultimate Aliens were fine, but I feel like it was more good for Albedo than anything else, because it felt like more like a good villain power, but not like a good big power, especially because he never really used it.
Yeah, I agree.
So it felt like more like it's good for villains. Fusions, I'm not the biggest fan of the fusions in general. I think I've been very vocal about that, being like fusions was like fun as this is a gimmick that's like shit's broken kind of thing, but not like I use it as a fusion.
I think it made more for like a fun one-off thing.
Yeah, a fun one-off would have been fine. Yeah, but as like the main thing, I wasn't really the biggest fan of that. But I think Mass Control is enough of a gimmick itself to like be warned, because we saw how OP Benson K was with just Mass Control. I mean, able to switch on the fly like that. Even Kid Ben, when he first got it, he was a monster. Kevin and Vilgax really had to kidnap Gwen to get the upper hand on him, because they just couldn't get the hands on him.
Gwen was on Demon Time.
Yeah, but you never see him at that same level of the game and get Mass Control. Alien Force like falls out 3 times in that special, but like Prime Ben, OG Ben, monster. They couldn't touch them with Mass Control.
Yeah,
Man,
go ahead.
For me, my gimmick is very simple. Like, I would want the aliens to have like an elemental gimmick. So like, say you got 4 arms, now just add fire. Now you got a fire 4 arms. Say you got like fucking Diamond Head, maybe you'll give him some magic or something like that. So my gimmick will be like adding elementals to some of Ben's aliens and then going from there. So you still have the strength of the aliens, but you also have an elemental an element added to it.
Sure.
Hold on. Then that begs the question, right? What if Heat Blast gets a fire elemental? What happens to him?
Well, that will fucking make him supernova, man. I don't fucking know, man. He's fucking more badass, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I've always wanted to really explore the like 10 element a lot more, and I feel like the reboot really fell into that a lot more to what I wanted to. But I like if I was to make my own thing, like I really like the idea, and it'd be very hard to do. I understand, but each season is like a different like playlist of 10. Like you switch it up every single season. I feel like that is almost a gimmick of itself, where it's like each season you don't know what that lineup is going to be, and I think that changes the status quo every season. Obviously that's your way of making new toys, that's your way of like challenging Ben, because he can never really get the hang of his playlist because he doesn't keep it long enough, at least to a certain point. Like I imagine he would give them eventually, but I think that's probably what I would go with in terms of a gimmick. But I agree with what you guys are saying. I'm not a huge fan of gimmick in terms of Ben. Like I think the fun of Ben is like he has to work with what he has. You can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna get more power because I say so. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of funny. I just realized when you was talking. First off, that's a great idea. I remember having that same thought. I think it's written into one of my scripts for a future video. I'm not too sure because I think the idea of Ben having his playlist shuffle for like a season, not only is it open up more opportunity for alien variety, I think it's also like a neat just little sort of like handicap maybe, because like he gets so comfortable with the alien and then like poof, he's fucking gone.
So Ben 10's essentially Ash Ketchum when he enters a new region. He gets like new Pokemon.
Yeah.
But then you could have like a dope.
Does he remember? You could
have like a dope episode in the last season where he like all of a sudden unlocks one from like one of the earlier seasons, like Diamond Head and Alien Force, and he's like, I'm familiar with this one.
Yeah.
And, it'd be so hype.
Yeah, the only problem I had with that is that at least for the reboot when it came to it, they weren't good at putting like equaling out, because I think at one season he had forms, Humongous or Raptor, they're all bruisers.
They fucking
all the same playlist.
Puffed up his playlist like crazy.
Because they didn't want to get rid of the three of the more strong iconic ones, but it was like at that point you're also losing on the more diversity. Why the original 10 works, because he basically had different alien for like different circumstances, but when you have 3 bruisers, then like it doesn't work like that.
Right, for sure. All right. Has anyone answered this one to the most that they want to answer it?
Oh, I didn't answer it. I was just thinking, like I'm in the same boat. I don't like gimmicks, but I think I feel like the only thing really left to explore is like Ben's relationship with like the watch, and I think maybe a gimmick would be like somehow like enhancing Ben with the watch, which is kind of like useless because the aliens obviously, but I feel like just like for toys and for like aesthetic, like it'd be cool to see Ben like more capable on his own without like having to transform. But I like if I had to, I think that's what it would be. But yeah, really I'm not in favor of the gimmicks, but yeah, that's all I got.
Sure. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Like, I feel like that's somewhat kind of leaning into like the Ben 10,000 thing, but like with a twist where it's like.
Sorry, are you suggesting like Ultimate Ben, but like cool.
Not like Ultimate Ben, anything but Ultimate Ben.
The worst version of Ben, bro. He doesn't even transform, man.
There's like a really cool person who's out there making fan art. I wonder if they still do, and they kind of.
I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, they kind of.
It's like the Omnitrix Ben.
Yeah.
I think that is like so sick. Something like that would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that could be cool for like this alternate Ben where it's like kind of the like Ben 10,000 idea, but like actually cool where it's like
or it can make for a really cool fucking solo episode where the watch is malfunctioning, so it only have transforms them. I'm writing that down. Let's go to the video.
Like this idea.
Save it for later.
So like he can have like an actual like fire hand or like a diamond hand while he's Ben. Whereas like but it's cool, but you get to see it. Like it's not just like it's there, but you can't see what it is.
I think the worst part about Ben 10K is the fact when he transforms to like Humongousaur, his fucking back fucking extends, bro. It's fucking freaky.
Ultimate Humongousaur.
That's like the only change he went through that whole episode.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Bigger.
and it's just like, how does nanomech work? How do like a lot
does
of
goop
these
work?
things?
Yeah,
He gets goopy, man. That's how goop
Cannonball.
works.
There's a lot of questions. Like, yeah.
All right, let's get ourselves another question. Okay. One moment in the series where Ben
Ooh.
should have gone ultimate.
It's almost
Most of them.
I like
Most of
this
them.
question.
What? It's
Most of
almost
them.
like I just made a video about these
One
last
moment in
two
the series
topics.
where Ben should have gone.
I like this
ultimate.
question.
What?
Did you send all these
Mhm.
questions, Dan? Was this
Huh?
you?
Yeah, this is our promo for my new video, y'all. Good. Nah.
They're one after the other, man. They're very convenient questions, Dan.
These were strategically placed by my team.
I know you don't have long, Des, but do you want to answer this one?
Yeah, I mean, like we've been saying, most of them. Like, there's so many times that like I'm literally looking at Ben. I'm like, all right, time to go ultimate, and he's like, you know what? Nah, I'm gonna just switch. I'm like, bro, ultimate. It ain't. We just go ultimate. It's for like either jobbers or just for like. It doesn't matter. Like him going ultimate big chill
Volcanus.
on Volcanus. I'm
Right.
like, all right. I'm like, you beat him multiple times while even trying. Why is this the time to go ultimate? It's just lots of times I'm just like, Ben, what are we doing? Time to go ultimate. I think it also comes from phrase from like I think what Kura brought up a while ago, or someone brought up. It was saying like, "Oh, Ben was maybe people be afraid of it," which I kind of like that. Like it's more of like a this is all or nothing. We battle ultimate, we die kind of thing. But
Right.
then they don't lean with that. There's so many stuff they could win ultimate. They kind of just drop. Which I think ultimate is a cool concept. I like it. That's why I think as for Ben, it doesn't work because he just forgets about ultimates half the time. Then by Omniverse happens, he just loses it and just never brings it up ever again. He's like a line, maybe saying like, "Dang, I really wish we could go ultimate Echo right now," or like ultimate Big Chill. But no, it just shows that how ultimate going ultimate just meant nothing, at least to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
yeah.
about it all for me. I gotta peace out.
All right,
Peace
buddy.
out,
See ya.
brother.
All right.
See ya.
Thanks for joining us, buddy.
We
No
missed you,
problem.
man.
Sorry. I'll try to hop the next one.
Anybody else have one?
Yeah, like Des said, like there's like so many moments, but I feel like the most like gut instinct answer I had is when Agrigor absorbs the aliens. I feel like this dude is literally 5 aliens merged together right now.
Yeah.
Like, yes, Humongousaur like did stuff that looked cool, but it was like nothing. So like I feel like I don't know. I like not that it would have even made a difference, but I feel like he should have like when Captain Nemesis kidnapped Julie and he like rode up on him with Ultimate Humongousaur.
Damn,
It's
this
like
is
where
really-
is that energy the rest of the
This is literally
time?
what I said in my video, bro. This is like you verbatim. What I said in my video. I brought up both those examples because it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like I think people in my comment, I got a comment on my video or something saying like, "Oh, Ben was determined to get Julie back. That's why he used against Captain Nemesis. Oh,
No,
Ben was bloodlusted and rage. That's why he went ultimate. Like what? No, he should have went ultimate. No, if your first thought is to beat this nigga's ass, go ultimate. Like
Right, exactly.
He was not distracted.
Yo, I have a more of a hot take with mine.
Ooh.
For first off, I'm gonna answer the question. Any fight where Vilgax somehow comes back could have easily used an ultimate. Any.
I remember somebody brought
Yeah,
up
like at
he
the
didn't-
end.
He didn't,
Yeah.
he didn't use him against Dagon Gags.
Yeah, like any fight Ben has with Vilgax or just any enemy that looks just like you can just easily beat. But I'm gonna say this. Some ultimates are very pointless where like I wouldn't even want Ben 10 to waste his time with the transformation.
Right.
Like who's saying who wants ultimate wild mutt to fucking take on a fucking bad guy?
Yeah.
What's his ultimate? Like the ability to talk. That's it.
Right.
Or
That'll
like
help.
maybe like ultimate big chill's enough. You don't need ultimate big chill, by the way. I think big chill is just enough to take on a bad guy. His ice is fire.
Well, Ultimate Big Shield
Bro,
never does anything different.
Literally.
But I'm gonna say this: Ultimate Echo
It's
Echo
so
and like
frustrating.
Ultimate Spider Monkey can sweep the board with any
Yeah.
bad guy.
Spider-Man Ultimate Spider-Man kind of mid, but he could, I guess.
He's alright.
Yeah. There's the thing is that there's some ultimates that are pointless where you feel like watching it, you just don't want Ben 10 to waste his time. Like no one's asking for like Ultimate Cannonbolt to fucking show up and like Cannonbolt's enough. That's the reason I don't like the Ultimates all too much.
Yeah, I agree. And
Yeah,
then
no,
there's also that thing where like it's like, okay, why don't you try an ultimate of another hero that you have that you haven't tried before? Where it's like,
see that was gonna be my answer to this question. Since like I kind of already talked about the whole like ultimate thing in my video. Like I think it would have been cool like if the moment he should have gone ultimate would have been like a moment where it gave somebody else a new one. So like I was gonna mention the Ripjaw scene where in the Perpetual Legion, like fuck it, like even though he had no reason to, just go.
That would have been sick, actually.
Yeah, no reason, even for a little bit. Or I don't know. I did mention forearms, like when him and Kevin are holding up the structure and he's struggling.
Yeah.
Nigga, you got 4 arms, bro. Use one of them bitches. Boom.
They chose
that would have been amazing when he's holding up
8
the
arms.
Oh my god.
They should have chose OG aliens that Ben had like Ripjaws and stuff like that and gave those ultimates. They gave Wildmud an ultimate, and Wildmud's not really an alien. I would consider giving an ultimate, man.
It is a weird choice. It's a weird choice.
I think I said too, like He Blast could have got one in his 3 appearances.
Yeah.
I think both him and Wildmud show up like the same amount of times. Like I know Wildmud doesn't show up that often in UA, and neither does He Blast. You could have gave He Blast one instead. We would have been cool with Ultimate He Blast.
Everybody would have been fine with that.
Give Upchuck an ultimate. My man took on the Forever Knights in the OG series. He was fucking badass, bro. Like, give my man Upchuck some goddamn respect and give him an ultimate, man. Give him something to work with.
Mount Rushmore is 0-2 with Upchuck right now. So
yeah, for real.
Give him 2 mouths, just like double the damage.
We all
Alien writers would have come up with something like that, man. They would have given him 2 mouths.
We owe our lives to Upchuck, man.
Amazing. Alrighty, next question. I wish it didn't spin for so long. Oh man, Dan, you also talked about this one. Are these all just Dan
videos?
Are there any retcons that you wish weren't retcons, or you wish were done better, or all that fun stuff? I literally just watched your video on this, Dan. I was like, oh, that was a question. I'll watch his video. This is great.
I'm still mad that video had a little bit of audio issue, but I'm going to answer this one because my biggest pet peeve with Ben 10 retcons, I always dislike the Gwen retcon of her actually being an alien magic or that type of shit. I think it was a lot cooler when like we kind of seen Gwen having to earn her powers, because I think it could have been a nice contrast. You know, Ben was given his powers and Gwen had to earn hers. And you know, I think it plays more into her character too. She was always on Ben's ass for taking it easy, being lazy, all that type of shit. So I think it'd be cool if she just like bossed up, learned how to do magic, and became one of the strongest characters in the show.
Well,
now I'm also not trying to say like that didn't happen. Just because she has it in her DNA doesn't mean she didn't work or have any training, because she still has to train how to use it. I just think the whole idea of it being a skill rather than genetic just makes her a lot cooler character, in my opinion.
I'm gonna agree with Dan, but I'm also gonna add something else. But first off, I kind of like the idea of Gwen just grabbing a spell book and just reading a spell off of it. I think that would have been that could have been so useful in a lot of like. That would just been a lot of character building moments in Alien Force where you could have Gwen learn a new spell and use it in battle. But like, I'd rather have her have like magic rather than like, you know, what they did in Alien Force, because I just feel like it's more unique to Gwen. You can add a bunch of magic spells and shit like that. You can have her combine spells and fucking have her problem solve with them. Like, they introduced that in the OG series, and then they completely just forget about it. Like, we don't remember. We remember she had a spell book. We're not stupid, man.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm in such a weird spot with that because, like, and I think I maybe mentioned it last time. I started with Alien Force. Like, that was the first thing I watched. That and some of Ultimate Alien.
Twin.
So to me, the classic thing at the time was the retcon. I was like, wait a minute, she knew magic back then. I thought she was an alien. This makes no sense. So like, I feel like that is the one I'm more nostalgic to. But you guys are right. It is way cooler for her to have had to slowly, over the course of time, earn her abilities, learn the magic. Classic did such a good job at like slowly letting her get like better at magic over the course of the first 4 seasons. Like, it's done very well.
Yeah.
So I definitely don't disagree. Although I do like the whole like Anodite stuff. Like, I think like the whole lore of that.
Yeah, I like the lore of it
Fine.
too. Somebody in the comment section, Sky mentioned that her OV Anodite form looks really cool, and I agree. I like how she turns her Anodite form into her ultra ego and
Yeah.
Did Ben 10 also didn't they also retcon the ending to the original series too? So that ending, people say that ending doesn't really matter at all.
No, goodbye and good riddance.
I don't think it was a retcon though. I think it was like,
I think it just wasn't canon.
Made it from the beginning.
Yeah,
it wasn't canon. It was a good ending.
It was like one of the what if episodes. It had
the whole comic book thing, and the narrator got the end. It kind of set itself up as like, would it been? You know,
I don't like it, so I'm glad it's not.
You're such a hater, bro.
I will never make peace with that episode, dude.
That episode was good, man. I consider it the finale for that, but I get it. You know?
I just think people like it because it is the finale of the show, but it's not really the finale.
Right.
Well, they knew they were doing Alien Force, so.
But what can you consider if that's not the finale to the show? Then what episode would you consider the finale to the show? If you were to pick
Secret of the Omnitrix.
Yeah,
Secret of the Omnitrix. I think.
Yeah, that makes Soto. I think Soto works.
Or -10.
I just consider it the -10. I think that's like the official order of release. I never really went to look because as a kid I always thought Soto was the end, but once I like grew up and started hearing it, Soto aired in between like season 3.
Right, so it could be the beginning of the last season.
Yeah, I'm thinking Secret of the Omnitrix because
I think it's really just a choice.
Right.
Yeah. If 50's like a preference thing.
Both are relatively big events, so I mean you could like pick either one.
One's better than the other.
Well, yeah, one of them is like 100 times better than the other one, but both are acceptable.
Then you got that CGI movie, and that comes like
I don't even think that really counts. That came like years.
Yeah,
that was like after Alien.
That's
Force,
like a special.
So.
I guess Secret of the Omnitrix.
Still, I mean, but because then you'd have to count like the Omniverse episodes where like
Destroy All Aliens premiered
shows
like
up
before Omniverse. I remember the two commercials being like side by side with each other.
CGI was impressive, bro. And Cartoon Network's budget is insane.
That movie, I still think that holds up pretty well.
Yeah.
I agree. I don't even know if this counts as like a retcon, and people might like it. So maybe I just need to rewatch Omniverse again.
Police, so I'll let you know.
Okay. I remember as a kid, and again, I haven't rewatched Omniverse all the way through in a long time, but I remember being a little nitpicky at the time about Gwen kind of having feelings for Kevin in the Omniverse stuff, where it's like she's had feelings for him back then, which isn't an automatic bad thing. Like I get why they did that to make it feel more natural, but I remember being like, I don't know.
That one episode with Ghost Freak was like the big one for that.
Yeah, Herodium to Eternity or some shit.
I
like that episode, but as for it being a retcon, I don't think that's a retcon. That's more like what's the word? Retroactive storytelling, something like that.
Right.
Because it is technically after the classic series.
It's kind of like it's kind of like exactly what the 11-year-old sections are. Like the 11-year-old sections aren't retcons; they're just added pieces of lore. So I think they just went in and Gwen developed her at 11, not all the way back when they were 11.
But they never like acknowledged it at the beginning of Alien Force, so I guess like I could see how then you could consider it like close to a retcon because like. Yeah, they interacted and we never really knew about this, but yeah, I still think it's like added media. Yeah.
I'm fine with them. I'm fine with what they added in Omniverse. Like that actually makes it a lot more sweeter that they were like, destined to be together. But like I'm going back to the original series because I'm rewatching it for my podcast. they have zero interactions. Like Kevin and Gwen interact none of the times, and the only times they interact is when she either gets captured by Kevin or she's
Yeah.
like, she's just there. She has never once spoken a word to Kevin in the original series. Maybe like yell. That's it. So
Maybe she was too nervous.
Yeah, wow, so nervous, man.
He's a bad boy, dude.
I think
Obviously, he got kidnapped. I would also
He's
be
the
nervous.
baddest kid around.
I think
He's
that's
the
also-
baddest.
That's Ben's line, bro. What are you talking about? I think
Doesn't
think
Kevin
that's
say that he's the baddest in like Framed or something? I feel like I remember him saying that.
I don't remember.
That sounds like a Ben thing. Why would Kevin say that?
It's in
What
the
is he, like-
intro, but
what
I
is he,
gotta
like,
go
Grease?
back and check.
He's like a dude from Greece. He's the baddest kid around, man.
Alrighty. Did everyone answer that? All that they wanted to say?
Yeah.
I
We all
think.
good? Okay. Just making sure. I didn't want to skip anybody.
All right, what's next? Another question that helped me promote my video.
Okay. The one
More
we started with. Do you
Uh,
guys prefer
Oh my god,
Ruthless
new question.
Trident Vilgax or Protector of His People Vilgax? So basically, classic or post classic, I guess.
I think
Kinda like
this is
that
a
era.
unanimous answer.
Okay.
Dan.
Are you starting with me?
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's for your video, man.
Yeah.
If you want to hear what I got to say about this, tune in next week. Nah, I'm playing. No, real shit. Look, I remember posting. I posted about this a lot on Twitter. Kind of just like the good old days, bro. Classic Vilgax just got so much aura. Just such an aura farmer, such an aura man. I think because I think the big thing about it is that Classic really builds up his status, right? You know, you see him at the start of the series with him chase down the Omnitrix. You know, then he gets his fucking bits blown up, and then he just in the background, right? But even with him being in the background of the plot, he still has such a hand in everything. He's sending drones at Ben, very intimidating drones. He's taking up a Rojo to go get him, and his voice, he's in Ben's nightmares. Like they set him as this presence, and then Secrets just pays it all off, bro. He is such a demon. I feel like Protector of His People Vilgax and like UAF Vilgax could have been. It's cool, but they just never give him the proper setup. I think they were too stuck.
Yeah.
Especially because when he came back around, there was a whole issue of him wanting the show to be too much like Classic. So you had so many conflicting storytelling and all that type of shit. I just think I think he is his best portrayal of that is in his two-parter, because he still kind of has that swag to him, that type of tyrant swag to him. You know, he's been conquering Earth, getting people's powers.
Yeah.
I just think as the show went on, he gets less and less cool.
Yeah. I
I prefer either of those over Omniverse, where he's neither.
Yeah.
Like I think
He's
with,
just
like seriously, like what, I don't get his deal, but like I think the Protector of His People aspect could have worked a little bit if they at least like paid that off somehow in like the end of Ultimate Alien, maybe when he's like doing stuff with the Dagon, where he's like thinking about his planet or like anything, but it's like it factors into nothing except that one episode with Ghost Freak.
Yeah, it's
So
kind of like
he's
he's Protector of His People, but he still is like he still has a tyrant mindset. Like
right, he's
not,
like evil. He's evil. Like,
evil fighting for his people. The nigga is just evil.
right? Like, that could be like a soft spot for him, but like he's objectively like an evil supervillain.
Yeah.
Like in Classic, like Dan said, like he's having nightmares about this guy before he even shows up. Like that is insane setup for him to be like, oh, please help Ghost Freak. He's hurting my beautiful planet. Like it's like dude, get real.
Yeah, I'm gonna go full on agree with Dan in that I prefer OG Vilgax. It was intimidating. Like even when he wasn't shown on screen for brief moments where he's just encased in this giant glass and he's being, repaired, he still maintains this creepy vibe about him. Like, when Ben faces him, he's gonna be fucking intimidating. I look at Alien Force Vilgax, and while yes, he's still somewhat intimidating, I cannot take him seriously. Like, his entire outfit confuses the crap out of me. He's got a Thanos gauntlet, a gun, a soul. Like, there's too much going on with him. Just give him the OG, like, Vilgax, like, drip, and don't put him in his Power Ranger Enforcer costume, bro. He looks so... It's the costume that makes him look super corny. I can't take him seriously, like, at all in that costume in Alien Force.
A lot of primary colors.
Yeah, I at least think that I feel like these are like nice natural progression of his character. Or him going like power hungry to then wanting to protect his people. I like the trajectory of his character. They just didn't stick the landing.
No, not at all.
Like,
No.
I think some of the tools he had, like you said, like his sword, his gauntlet,
like
the fucking dark side laser eyes.
Too much going on, dude.
It's a lot, but I think if they would have took the time to like explain it, kind of flesh out that like he's gone away from wanting the Omnitrix to rule the earth. Instead, he'll just use the power of his people and make his people the greatest empire, all that type of shit. Like, if he went more away from being fucking determined to get the strongest device in the universe, which, you know, is cool if you want it, instead he just went to like using his people and like all what, you know, his home species technology, fighting for his people, instead of just trying to be the strongest in the universe, make his empire the strongest in the universe, then I think we cooking here. But they kind of just
it had potential. Like I said, like, it could have been good. They just needed to like somehow work it into like the story kind of like dangle it in your face.
Oh, he might do it. Nope, he's not.
Right.
Didn't they also, like, in Ultimate Alien, didn't they also give him like a stupid like fish form or whatever? He looks very weird. Like,
when he's like submerged in water, he turns into an octopus. My true form.
It's like, why didn't you do this 5 years ago? You just like get me in. I can't breathe in water. Just like get me in water. You got me.
My man's a late bloomer, bro. He's like Frieza. This is my true form. I'm like, really?
This seems worse than your old one.
Yeah, like, this cannot be your true form. You sure, man?
Yeah, like, I think I agree. Like, again, I started with Alien Force and stuff like that, so like this was technically my first Vilgax. But like, yeah, like, especially on rewatch, like on rewatch, it's so tough where it's like you keep doing the arc over and over again. Where it's like, okay, he's in this episode. It's like, okay, cool, we beat him. All right, so we're done with him. Nope, again and again and again and again. And by the end of that season, it's like, I'm so tired of you, man. Go home. I could not care less about you.
We know you have a home now. Please return to it.
Vilgax appears more than the Forever Knights in the fucking series, and they're in every fucking Ben 10 show, man.
Yeah, and again, I agree. Like, on paper, I love the protector of my people. I'm the king. I need to protect
protector
the
of Earth.
I love. Like, on paper, that's brilliant. That's really good. Lean into that. Like, I think especially with there being a 5-year gap in between classic and this show, that I think that can work for his character.
Like, I didn't even think about that. That is so much time for him to just be done with wanting the Omnitrix. Becoming such a rush. Like, he became what? King of his people? I forgot the term he uses. Leader, probably use leader. He became
conqueror.
He becomes the conqueror of his people, right? So I think it just makes a lot of sense for him to just be just so attached to his people now. And instead of seeing power for himself, see it for his people. That way, see, look, then the Ghost Freak episode has a little bit more value to it. Instead of him begging for Ben's help, please, he could just be like, hey, my nigga, he got my people trapped. I need your help. Like, it could just be like that. Instead of him coming big, like, I can't beat him alone. He could come to Ben out of just like what's the word? He could come
like, you have experience with Ghost Freak.
He come to Ben because, look, my people are under control. I don't know how to deal with Ghost Freak, but you do. So help me save my people. Because that's kind of the approach he comes to with. It would just hit a lot harder if they showed that side of him that cares for his people, and he wasn't just like on his hands and knees begging bro to help.
Sitting at like Burger Shack or whatever they do.
With a black eye and shit, like, bro.
My dream scenario for Vilgax would be like, there's this bigger threat that's bigger than Vilgax, and like Vilgax needs Ben's help. So like we learn about Vilgax's backstory and we see how he is and stuff like that. And then, you know, throughout the journey and their team up, maybe Vilgax respects Ben more enough not to destroy him and, see him as more like an ally. Because I feel like if they wanted to do something new with Vilgax, you keep bringing him back, just make him a freaking ally. You got all these other Ben 10 villains. Do something with them. Just make Vilgax an ally. Don't make him go through all these Frieza transformations from Dragon Ball and then like have him transform into some different every season. Do something with the character. If you're
I really like what you're saying, except for the ally part. I think he should still be a villain. But I think that's kind of what my whole point was. I think they should have reinforced the threat of Ghost Freak, so Vilgax comes to him out of concern for his people instead of just being too weak to beat Ghost Freak. Like I said, if it's not Ghost Freak, maybe it is some stronger threat that Vilgax is like warned has been about because he's worried of what it could mean for his people. It can mean the death of his people. And he needs to put aside their differences for them to beat this threat, and then they can go back to killing each other.
Yeah, I think that should have been the like season 3 story. Like I think that story that I think we're kind of all collectively cooking up is a lot better than what they ultimately went with. Like I really like the idea of like him being this kind of immature asshole who thinks like, oh yeah, this is how I should lead my people in Classic, and then him being like, come 5 years later, it's like, oh, because I kept going after you, I lost the respect of my people and people I loved. And I lost control. I think
it also be like a Zuko thing from Avatar.
But it makes for such a nice parallel of both the growth for Ben and Vilgax, because between Classic and Alien Force, they both grow into different characters. Now, Ben obviously in season 3, his character drops. Same thing with Vilgax. But I think if this was their trajectory, where Vilgax kind of just stops wanting to chase the Omnitrix, instead he wants to be more of a person to his people, be more of a responsible leader, the same way Ben became more of a mature person. That'd make for a nice little parallel between the two main focus of the show, two popular characters from the shows.
And I would also argue, come Ultimate Alien, I think you can even lean into that even more, where it's like he fully loses his people. Like they kick him out. You're like, no, you caused us more harm. It's like, well, now where am I going to go? Okay, I need to find a whole new people to praise me. I need to find my place, which is why he goes to the whole Dagon stuff. He's like, oh, these people will love me. Yeah,
you can make him relapse right back in the one in the Omnitrix, which is why he'll then go after it at season 3, and then he'll lose, become people of Dagon. We just fixed season 3, guys.
We just fixed.
Oh, yo, bro! And one of those episodes, man. Maybe Vilgax gets a love interest, and she's more evil than fucking Vilgax, bro. Oh god! Just do some with that, man.
Yeah. And the more you guys are like talking about it, like all these like cool parallels that Vilgax could have had with Ben, it's just like so depressing.
Yo, bro!
Now I want to see this stuff because Vilgax had so much potential.
I would imagine
the beast.
I would imagine their dynamic be like Zuko and Aang from Avatar, where they're both on a mission. Vilgax is like the Zuko. He's trying to capture Ben's Omnitrix, and Aang, he's trying to learn about the Omnitrix. I would imagine it'd be something like that, bro.
So I know Sky in our chat brought up Dr. Doom. I think that would have been cool. I don't know too much about
good
Dr.
vibe.
Doom, I've seen some times where he'll help the Fantastic Four, or
Sure.
I mean, I think the biggest thing about Dr. Doom, like from what I've read, and like, is just like, yes, he has his beef with like Reed Richards, and he is like a generally like evil dude, but he is like grounded somewhere morally, where he has motivations and he does like care for his people of Latveria. Yeah. So it's like, you could definitely bring a Dr. Doom like energy to Vilgax, where it's like, I'm evil. Everybody knows I'm evil. Like everybody in the Marvel universe is like afraid of Dr. Doom, but like he does have a responsibility to these people who do, live under his rules. So it's like, I think there's definitely something there.
That's going in my notes app. Y'all finna give me a banger video.
What if Vilgax had a different origin?
Put all of our names in like really big font at the end of the video.
Helping you out. What if Vilgax had a different origin, or what if Vilgax was better?
What if Vilgax was better?
This isn't on our wheel, but I did want to bring it up here. I thought this would be a fun little break. Did Ben 10 ever explain how they took off the Omnitrix in the original series?
Like how he
Not
took it off,
officially,
like
no.
when he retired.
Yeah, like in that 5-year break.
No,
I don't think they did.
ever.
No.
They
I don't
never
think
did. No.
I don't know. See, from the microscopic part of my brain, I feel like they say. I don't think they say. I remember hearing that he went to Azimuth, which I think makes me. I think it's probably.
I think one of the writers might have said that because I think I know what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah, like he went to Azimuth and he took it off.
Yeah, but I think that's like one of the mysteries of the show. Like they never.
Yeah.
I don't think they ever.
No, he found that. He found a magic stick and just fucking ripped.
He
that
probably
shit
did
right
go to
off, man.
Azimuth. If
Yeah.
I were to guess, like that makes the most sense to me.
Or maybe Gwen. Maybe Gwen found a spell that removes the watch. I mean, like she was skilled at
That'd be
that
broken.
point. Like that'd be broken.
It's funny. Research for one of my upcoming videos that has a really cool special guest on it. I was looking through some shit, and they do say that well, it's also in Destroy Aliens too. Like Gwen's magic does mess with the Omnitrix. So
Maybe.
Like,
that's
yeah,
cool.
so like maybe Gwen maybe malfunctioned it, and maybe she found a way to remove it. Like, Gwen was skilled at that point. She must have found a spell that did something to the watch.
Right. Yeah, and I think just like why I think we all kind of like at least headcanon. Like I think like the biggest headcanon is malware at this point, where it's like, yeah, he lost feedback, all that kind of fun.
That's why people assume he took it off.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
how it got off, I never really thought about it.
sure.
You think they use that machine that they use in Back with a Vengeance? Which I don't.
That was my first thought, like,
That makes
because I
sense.
didn't at the first I didn't understand the question. It was like that 5-year gap. I was like, oh, we saw Kevin do it. Like,
You know
Oh, you're talking about the machine that Vilgax first
Yeah.
used to remove
like
the watch
his
from Ben?
fucking arm and it just rips
Yeah.
his shit off.
that is so cool.
The plumbers probably have it. He probably did use it.
That'd be
Because
like
now
a
that I
fun.
think about
It's
it,
probably
too,
still in the Novoid.
Yeah.
but also now that I think about it, it probably was Azimuth. I mean, they seem cool. Come Alien Force, like there's no real like, oh, I haven't seen you since we were on that alien planet. Like they seem kind of like to know each other.
Right. I could see Azimuth being like understanding, like if like a younger Ben like wanted to give it up.
Yeah, but if it was Azimuth, I would assume he would have taken it from him, right? Like I don't know if he would have let him put it in his drawer with his clothes.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Soto Azimuth does say that shit caused me too much trouble. You keep
Right,
Maybe.
he doesn't become like seriously into it until like Alien Force.
So he removes it and lets him keep it, but when he puts it back on, it recalibrates. Like,
right, so it wouldn't have even worked. I mean, who knows?
Like, that's the thing. Like, maybe Azimuth did take it off, and maybe he knew when Ben was going to put it back on. Because the
he could have
recalibration
like said
started the
it
moment he
like
put it back on.
or
take
maybe
it
the
off, but as soon as he puts it back on, have an upgrade.
Recalibration feature is probably just like a sort of like natural update, or maybe
That's what I always assume.
Maybe yeah. Or like you could also see it as like it recalibrating to his DNA because he's older now.
Maybe Paradox did some. Maybe Paradox has something to do with it. It was always Paradox,
When in
man.
doubt.
Them damn celestial
Paradox.
sapiens. That's what everybody
Paradox knew he was going to put it back on.
Them damn celestial sapiens.
Always.
Paradox
Just a
was going to put that watch right back on.
Just a little like software update. Just a little.
Yeah. Hit him with a software, Azimuth. Hit him with an update.
I say Tennyson put back on the Omnitrix. Time to install iOS 16.
Okay.
That's funny.
Which non-Cartoon Network character would you love for Ben to cross over with? This is fun.
Any DC character.
Not that.
It's
I don't
just-
know. I mean, you could roll them into Cartoon Network, but yeah, I don't know.
Sure.
I'll have to think about it.
Yeah, he said any DC. My fucking headphones bugged out.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
just like
I got
you
a
just feel
few
like
of
what's-
these, right?
Go ahead.
I got a few.
Go for it.
I got a few. For DC, I always look, guys. He needs to meet Green Lantern. They're not. They like
That would be amazing. It would be amazing.
No, bro,
Yeah.
you're bringing up that.
They gotta
battle
make
fight.
up.
We can have it
They
again.
like each
I gotta
other.
make up.
After watching the Green Lantern, the animated series, and only one of the movies, I'm not gonna lie. I was supposed to make a Green Lantern video, but that live action movie is making it tough. I still went back and finished it. But I think around the time that the Green Lantern, the animated series show was on air, was probably around the time Ultimate Alien was on air. Those two go together pretty damn good. Like they're really two,
Especially with like the
similar
Rust
characters.
Bucket 3.
they're really two similar characters. You know, the whole space aspect, the whole getting their powers from alien technology. I said the same thing with Blue Beetle because Blue Beetle's kind of the same way. He gets his powers from alien technology and all that type of other shit. I also said the Fantastic Four just for a Marvel. Just for a Marvel inclusion. I said that recently. I just think it'd be cool.
Mine is more corny.
I think that'd be cool.
Mine is more cornier, but I definitely like Ben to meet the kids next door, man. That'd be fucking awesome. And that
would have been great in like classic.
They got all that technology. They know how to build gadgets. So maybe the watch doesn't fucking work, and Ben has to use fucking 2x4 technology, man. He has to fucking team up with the kids next door. You know?
I did it. Oh wait, it says non-Cartoon Network character. I didn't read that. I was gonna mention
non.
Yeah,
Randy
I was gonna
Cunningham.
mention Symbiotic Titan because
Randy Cunningham.
But you guys can
Randy
totally
Cunningham.
pick. It could be any character that you would just like to see him in.
I think
think
Symbiotic
Shazam.
Titan would have been cool. Shazam, that's another one.
Yeah,
Symbiotic
Shazam
Titan
one.
just for the plug.
Symbiotic Titan would have been
Cunningham.
dope if that was still around. Yeah.
I mean, I heard people say like Teen Titans too. I never got that one though because I don't know.
He would just be like
Teen
another
Titans?
superhero.
I think
Yeah.
it had to be classic. Like I think classic and Teen Titans would work very well.
It'd
together.
be my pick would be like Hero from Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go.
That's
Oh
a
my
deep
god, I
cool.
remember
Who know
that.
about that? That's a deep.
That'd be a
cut.
fucking.
That's a deep
That would be a
cut.
fucking sick
That's what-
cameo, bro.
Put
My
Ben
man
in
got
Hero 108.
yeah.
He got 108 heroes, so we can. Do
Hey, yo,
that.
bro, you got Greg Sipes, bro. You got Kevin 11 over there. You don't even need to fucking hire anybody, bro. Just have him fucking put the hero voice on. That's it.
Oh,
Greg
yeah.
Sipes, Sarah Strong in the booth, man. That's all you need.
Yeah.
I think I've seen people say Static Shock. Someone said El Tigre. I just think Ben 10 can just work really well with just like with comic book characters, since so much of his
For real.
origin
Yeah.
is the comic book like it is comic
Right.
book inspired. Like I could see him like talking to fucking Superman is one. I think a young Ben would love Superman, and they could have like that little
Yeah.
kind of like that same like
The Galactic
like-
Enforcers.
no, yeah, like how he was so joyed that there were superheroes. I think he could have that same that same fanatic type of attitude towards Superman. Like, dude, you're Superman. What? You don't want Superman?
Yeah.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
Man,
I
wasn't
think-
fanboying.
You want
Enforcer.
my
Man, boy,
autograph?
They kind of
Fanboy,
suck,
that's the
man.
word.
I think
I
this
think
conversation
it'd be cool to see a
proves we
fanboy with
need.
Superman.
I think this conversation proves we need a Ben 10 DC crossover series, like inside the comics or whatever. Like
don't know
Sonic
what
is
it
having
is.
one at the
The
moment.
comic does well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
he could slide so well into that universe, bro. Put him in his own little
Yeah.
world like Jump City. Make Jump City. What the fuck? I'm thinking of Teen Titans. Bellwood. Make Bellwood a DC city somewhere, anywhere, and have him patrol it. You know, every once in a while,
Dude.
some DC heroes come through.
There's a bunch of like, because I've been looking on YouTube. There's a bunch of like little animations of like Ben teaming up with Batman. Surprised they didn't make a fucking Batman Ben 10 like direct to DVD movie. Like
Yeah.
that would be like
Somebody has a. I don't know the creator. I would definitely shout them out. But there's an artist out there who has like a webtoon of Ben meeting the Justice League. The one.
Oh
from the
yeah, I
Cartoon
remember when
Network.
that started. Yeah.
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 awesome. Yeah, that's great.
That'd be sick. Noah asks a question. I think this is a fun question. Are there any Ben 10 spin-off series that we would like to see? I know like Gwen is like the popular one over the years.
Yeah, Gwen and Kevin.
Yeah.
Give me
still
Ken
say-
10, bro. Give me Ken.
Yeah, I
Give me
think Ken 10
Dan.
would be the best.
It's my
I think
thing,
that'd be
man.
the
I was
best.
gonna say Ken 10.
I think
Man,
everybody
fuck-
wants a Ken 10
Fuck
show.
Ben 10K. Who needs a Ben 10K show?
Give
Give
us-
me Ken 10.
It was like I'm with Dan, even though he said it before me. I say Ken 10 show would definitely fucking work. Like I really think a spinoff, you know.
Oh.
And that episode already set everything up where like you could just go from there, man. Just reintroduce it. Or
That
maybe
episode really does feel like a backdoor pilot. Like
It
if
does,
you were
yeah.
just watching it like in the middle of the season,
Yeah.
like yeah.
I think a Kevin and Rick show would be cool.
Yeah,
Oh.
Kevin and
I think-
Brooke, they had great
Kevin and
chemistry
Brooke buddy
in their
cop show.
episode. Automotives. Yeah.
I don't know. It may not
Arjet.
be like the most creative thing, but I love Alan. I would have totally watched like an Alan show. Him just on his
Like the
own
plumbers
playing
helpers
fine.
in general, I think would have been.
I was
Plumber
wondering if
helpers,
somebody
yeah.
gonna bring that up.
Grandpa Max prequel where you get to explore him as
Plumber.
I was
Plumber.
wondering if someone's gonna bring up Grandpa Max, man.
Yeah, like fucking what happened when
Plumber
Grandpa Max?
show. There's a lot of
bro?
options.
Why do half of Grandpa Max's friends turn evil? Like, give us a prequel to that, man. Because Grandpa
Yeah.
Max has no friends, and half of them are evil, man.
He has
Like,
no friends.
Yeah.
something, man.
Yeah, I'd even watch like an Agents of Shield style like plumber show that like takes
Right.
place in between Ben's arcs or
Oh
whatever,
my
where like
God.
he left a mess on an alien planet, they gotta clean it up, and it's some monster show.
Isn't there a Star Wars show kind of like that where they follow some of the clone troopers?
Yeah, Clone
Bad
Wars.
Batch or something like that. Clone Wars.
Oh, Bad Batch. Yeah.
Is that what that is? I remember.
Yeah,
seeing
the
like
Bad Batch. It's like a branch of the clones that are like special.
Yeah, they follow like a section of them. Well, like you said, Agents of Shield too. So yeah, something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
That I feel like I just this idea just popped into my head, like a live action like plumber show where it is in the same universe as the animated series, but you
Yeah.
never show like Ben or Rook or anybody like too closely.
Kind of
So it's always
like the MCU spinoffs where like
Yeah, I
they'll
could
show
see them
Avengers
doing some shit
Tower
like that
without
on like
ever
CN
mentioning
Real.
Hulk by name or something like that.
Oh, like
I could totally-
use the plumbers.
No,
I
if you're
think
gonna
that would
do
be awesome. Just like a
you're gonna-
workplace comedy with like plumbers, and it's like
if
I
you were
think
gonna
that'd be
do a
amazing.
plumber, if you were gonna do a plumber show, I would stylize it like a CW like Flash show. Like you definitely
Yeah,
get a guy who's like who looks like a young Grandpa Max. You would see him as a young Grandpa Max, and you just grab all the lore from the plumbers and like Grandpa Max's friends, and you do something with that. Include azimuth, include as many nods to like the original series and what we know of the plumbers, like how they came to be. Like I think one thing I love about the original series and I love about Ben 10 that I wish they would expand it on is definitely Grandpa Max. Like I want to know more about
There's a
him
lot of lore there. Yeah.
before we got to the point of his life where he's helping Ben out. Like you want to see
Right.
what happened before that.
you
Kinda
could
like
also
who
do
made
like
the
different eras
plumbers.
with plumbers. Like they had like the George like the old timey era, and like
Right.
2005, and then like Alien Force era. Like like you could do a bunch of different stuff with the plumbers.
See, I'm not gonna lie. If we were to get a show like this, I would definitely want it to be the more recent style of plumbers. 'Cause I like
Well,
that there's
yeah,
a mix of both aliens and humans. I think if you go before Max's time, I think that's when they had a lot of alien racism, so they didn't have any on the plumber
Right.
squad.
Maybe it's
Or
like
like,
an anthology series where each season is like a.
That's what I
different-
was thinking. Like you could have
Or
an
maybe
episode
for
where
your-
it's
you
like
could have, like,
old
the
timey
human-
George Washington.
Yeah. I also might just be tripping. I think I remember when I was doing research for it. I think it said like the alien plumbers just weren't stationed on Earth, so maybe they still did as expecting. But I kind of like it better when they were all mixing and matching.
Right.
So what would it be like? It would be like we focus on one plumber each episode, and then they all come together at the end.
I think it should follow like this one dorky plumber, like maybe this one low rank plumber, kind of like those typical styles.
Or
You,
just a
you could
plumber
do like
showing-
like when the Vriedels were in the plumbers.
Oh
You-
yeah.
like a cameo.
Have it be about like have the
Or,
Vriedels pop up at some point.
Or how about this? Ben 10's retired. Plumber still exists, and Grandpa Max is like, I want to teach a next generation of plumbers, bro. Just have
That'd be
him
cool.
just teach like maybe like these these kids are given like these prototype omnitrixes and they're learning and they get to learn how to use the power. Like if I want a series, you want something that will evolve like the Ben 10 lore and like you want new characters. Do something with Grandpa Max. Have him train the next generation of heroes like he trained Gwen and Ben.
Right.
Super
I think
old.
I know the intake made their own little like squad of new plumbers that Ben trained.
Yeah, the
That kind
Orion
of sounds
Corps.
weird. Yeah, I think maybe they could do something like that. Except, right, hear me out. You have Max training an upcoming plumbers, right? But instead of them having omnitrixes, they're all different aliens, right? Right.
Perfect.
You can have them train Ben's 10. Oh, I'm cooked. I just cooked.
Ooh, the show would be called like Ben's 10, like
Yeah, you-
apostrophe S.
Yeah, you call it that, bro.
That's
That
not
would be
bad. That's not bad.
crazy.
Call
It's
it
like
Ben's
he's
10.
retiring. Maybe he was like, well, I can't be doing this, but
The
you
only
guys
way,
can.
the only way
These
to
are
make
Ben's
up,
10.
yeah, the only way to make up for the fact that there is no more Omnitrix, because whatever Ben did with it, whatever happened to it, we just got to get 10 species that made up the Omnitrix.
That's a lot of. That's also a lot of aliens.
That
How
would be
about-
sick, actually.
Yeah.
That would be great, but maybe 5 to start, and then
Yeah.
expand the.
Yeah,
the
you could have like a Power Ranger thing where like it starts with like 5 and then their
Yeah.
roster builds to 10.
That'd be
Yeah,
kind of like a
yeah.
fun like villain arc or something where someone like hires like a task
Like
force.
Albedo did.
Kind of where it's like he gets like a villain gets all of Ben's aliens and they train them up and they're like the peak. They're like these super soldiers, but it's a heat blast, it's a diamond head, and there's just like 50 of them. And it's like, oh,
Making the
you can't
Ben
beat
10
all
hit
your
squad.
aliens, Ben.
It's kind of like Kyber, like with the Splixen Predator Omniverse.
Yeah.
Oh,
Where,
that
like,
actually
they all
would have made
change
for a
into
cool
different
thing for Kyber to
predators.
do.
or
He loses the Nemitrix and instead he just goes and just hunts down some species,
Cut down the middleman.
mind
Yeah.
controls or something like that.
fucking
To
sick.
see how Ben
Or-
10 faces Ben's 10.
Or it'd be like Power Ranger SPD. Like each kid can transform into an alien of Ben's choosing, and then fucking fight the bad guys, bro.
Yeah.
Alrighty, next question.
Ben's 10. I'm gonna trademark that.
I'm getting that copyright tonight.
Are there any misconceptions about the franchise that genuinely
Dude,
bother
I
you?
have. This is supposed to be another video of mine I'm making. I don't know if I should.
Man,
I
these
don't know
I
if
mean,
I
if you
should-
want to skip this
Yo.
one, by all means.
No. We can talk about it. I'm just not gonna go. That I'm gonna tell everybody my answer. That's all I'm gonna do. Cause I want to make a really in-depth video about this. Right. My answer is that people think the Omnitrix is a weapon. That's all I'm gonna say.
I agree. That's a big one. It's
Do not like.
Azimuth says what it is like multiple times in the show. It's it helps you understand.
It always bothers me whenever I'm saying it always bothers me when I hear people say, "What alien would you take away from the Omnitrix?" Oh, Ben uses it as a weapon. Like there was some discussion recently about it that I got into it. I think it's also what made me want to talk about this topic too. I think it was about like what's the point of this alien since they don't have any combat ability. Or like they still have a place in the Omnitrix because it's not a weapon. Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right.
Next month.
You could have an alien with like no powers, and obviously it wouldn't be cool.
Yeah, that still
but
makes sense.
you could still say like you're trying to like understand the species better.
I think
Like
I'm not supposed to say too much. I'm not supposed to say too much.
Like the worst,
I
man.
think that's just
homie.
Yeah, I like even just like I don't think Wildmutt is a combat alien. It is just his species, but the way Ben uses it, he may use it in a combat way, but it still makes that alien useful. These aliens don't need to be able to have like heat rays or overpowered abilities for them to be in the Omnitrix because that's not its purpose. I think even when you see aliens like you said, the worst is not a combat alien, right? No. That doesn't mean we should get rid of him. I think he still has a place in the Omnitrix because Ben, even though Ben doesn't specifically use him, he is used sometimes just so Ben can just take some damage, just to not be harmed. There's an episode where he wears somebody out because they can't hurt the worst. I feel like that's an episode. I think that happens.
I think it was like one of the Apoplexians.
Yeah. Okay, I'm thinking it right.
Well, like, I remember he also shot worst. Like someone like shot him as worst into like the Rhino guy's horn, and I remember he like
they like blew up.
Yeah.
SpongeBob of aliens, bro. Come on, man.
I had that same thing in my head where like the bully guys punch SpongeBob in the back, and he's I'm gonna talk about it more in one of my own videos, but I just can't stand that one. I can't stand it.
No, it's not a weapon. It's a device to bring peace to like the galaxy. Yeah. Am I right?
Asmund says that so many times. He says that in Soto. He says the Omnitrix was not. I didn't make a weapon. You all did. He says. I think that's the first time he ever says anything about the Omnitrix in Soto. Then his big speech at the end where he's like, "I made the Omnitrix to bring the species of people closer together." Like He's telling you he did make a weapon, fam.
Yeah.
Like,
and
the reason Ben uses. Oh, sorry. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
It's fine. Go ahead. It's fine.
The reason Ben uses it as a weapon is he has no choice because he has all these fucking people coming after him. He has to use it as a weapon to defend himself.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think Azimuth. I think the aliens that Azimuth scan, they're not violent. They don't seem like violent aliens. They seem like peaceful creatures. But Ben has. It's like Ben has no choice. He has to.
I agree with you too. I feel like there might be a few accounts where Ben referred to it as a weapon, like in his big ultimate speech where he's talking to Homeboy.
Yeah,
he's like, "I'm
the Forever
most
Night
powerful weapon in the universe." But see,
Yeah.
I always like that Ben carries the message that Azimuth told him in Soto further. He carries that message. He says it all the time that he is a representation of everybody, and I think that's the big takeaway.
And that's where I would like, if we did like a 5th show in the continuity, I think that is where I would want to lead Ben. I would love to see more peacekeeper Ben, more of I am one of it, all of you. I am a representation of what is good about the universe, almost this like Doctor Who-esque kind of character where it's like, no, I'm here to spread peace and joy and to help people if they need it, but if they don't, I'm just traveling, I'm just kind of going on my way. I think that would be really cool, and also it's kind of. Oh, go ahead.
Now, I was gonna say, and I always just like that. Yes, he had been used as a weapon, but that's why I really do like when they add alien variety in combat scenes, because Ben's intuition, his skill set allows him to use any of these aliens to save the day, and I always like to relate that to the message of how representation matters, right? Like, imagine some of these alien species in Ben's galaxy who are deemed as lesser beings, and then they hear about Ben saving the day as a Vopomancer or I almost said a gray matter. What's the species again? A Galvan. I think all that type of stuff is important to the context of the Omnitrix's whole purpose of uniting the people.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that stuff I would have loved to have seen them. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, he just wants peace, like Iron Man.
Oh. Yeah, and kind of to like piggyback on that, I think mine has always been like, and you guys probably already touched on this a little bit, but like, oh, why is there like kind of like your whole fast track thing? Like, oh, like why is there fast track? He already has a fast alien.
Right.
It's like, yeah. There's probably like 50 speedster aliens in there. It like, why? Like, yeah, like, okay, you have Upchuck and Edel, and yes, you have Echo and Ditto. It's like, yeah, it would be weird if there was only one of each power. That's like, oh, like, why does there Diamond Head?
I hate that.
And Humongous Sword, they both walk. It's like, yeah, that's an ability they just both have.
I don't think it's wrong for some of these aliens to share the same power. I just think that maybe Fast Track could just be. I think they should have portrayed it a lot differently. Like,
yes,
maybe make him just be stronger and have him be more combat focused and extra like more focused. But there being more speedster aliens, more electricity aliens, 2 fire aliens, I don't think that shit's that big of a deal.
But to say like, because some people like to harp on like some aliens in Ben 10's watch are useless, and I'm like, well, to Ben they're not useless. They're, in a way, Ben's learning about the aliens as we're learning about the aliens. They're essentially how Ben sees his aliens, and I think it's like a good thing for any person who wields the Omnitrix, is that he sees the aliens as extensions of himself. Like, to him, they are people. They're not just tools to be used. They're to him, they feel real, which is why losing them makes him he's more impactful.
He said that in the Eunice episode. Said that she's just as real as any of his transformations.
Right. Yeah. See, like, they have all these good like little moments for it, like in the show. Like, you just kind of have to look for them.
Which is what, man. I would love another reboot, because I feel like I want to take all of these ideas that the original show built on and say, okay, add a little bit more context, put some more meat on these bones, change a couple of things that maybe didn't work the first time around, and develop those ideas a little bit better. And I think that's what I would that's what I would want from like another continuity of show.
I agree.
Yeah, just like squish all the good stuff into one show.
Yes.
And then it'll be good.
learn from your 20 years of fandoms. And,
Yeah.
you've had 5 shows at this point. So take what worked and
Just don't
take
give
away what didn't work, kind of thing.
Just don't give us Ultimate Wild Mutt, man. Just I love Wild Mutt as he is, man.
You could put anything except him in the new reboot, and we'll
Yeah. Easy on the exception.
Okay, this next question, a pretty unique one. Do you think Morningstar should have had his own dedicated arc? If so, do you think it should? What do you think it should have been like?
I'm a
No.
Michael Morningstar enjoyer. Okay, I've thought about this probably more than I should have, but like, it's just I feel like his performance is like always like so entertaining. Like every time he shows up,
Right.
I feel like they kind of fumbled him that one episode with Kevin in season 3. I can't remember the name of it.
I know you're talking about.
Yeah.
I think that, but I feel like you don't need a redemption arc with him. I think he's one of the characters that you should have like stay evil. But I
Yes.
think just like something maybe involving like Ledger Domain, or like seeing what he was up to like in between when we saw him in Ultimate Alien and where we pick up with him in Omniverse, like at the Friedkin University. Like I feel like you could do something where it's not like redeeming him, but also kind of giving him more depth and maybe see like why he's like this. Is he just crazy? Like how did he even get like this? Like what do his powers even mean? Like
Morningstar prequel? Is that what you want? The Morningstar
prequel.
Just
call it Morningstar. Just call it Morningstar.
No, Morningstar.
Morningstar.
He's in in the
Something with
reboot.
those family shows.
Yeah, in the reboot, isn't he?
It's a CW.
Oh yeah, he's like a child. He's like a child actor in the reboot.
In the
isn't
reboot,
he?
he's like a child actor, but he still is like his power is still low. He's still creepy, and he's still drained. And I think he like feeds off like the admiration of people and like people that love him. He feeds off of that and drains
like
their energy.
Zombozo almost.
Like somewhat like Zombozo. So like, I think. And a dedicated arc. I mean, I feel like Morningstar already had his arc. I mean, like the only thing you can really do
Maybe they
with
mean
the
like
character-
story arc. That's kind
Story
of
arc?
why. That's kind of why I would
I
say
don't
no.
know.
I don't think he needs a season long arc or 2-part.
Yeah, I think nothing like long. Just maybe like a little like.
Maybe.
I feel
I
like
do-
you could do something cool with him in Ledger Domain. I don't know what, but I feel like you could do something like a short or something that'd be cool with that.
I think because see, Morningstar is not a bad villain. He's actually one of the better ones. I enjoy him too. I guess when he does. I think I remember saying it in one of my other videos when I went over Galactic Monsters. I like what he did in Omniverse. I just think he needs to like be more present. Like in the Omniverse episode, he first shows up and he's like undercover. He's trying to steal Gwen's powers as he usually do, all that freaky shit. But he accidentally like brings back Ghost Freak or something like that. I think you could have did something there. Maybe you could have incorporated him more, kind of like as an unusual like partnership between him and Ghost Freak. That way, it could have been like you got Ben's antagonist and you got Gwen's antagonist, and you could have got more of them.
Mm-hmm.
I think he works best as like a plug-in villain because he's essentially just power hungry. He don't really have any strong motivations. He'll really just go anywhere he can to get power, which can lead to so many team ups with him. He'll work with anybody as long as it makes him powerful.
Right.
It's the reason he worked with Charmcaster. It's the reason why he went to ask Kevin for help. All that type of shit.
Was he dating? Was he dating Charmcaster in Alien Force? Am I wrong?
Yeah,
For a minute,
in Ultimate Alien.
Yeah.
Well,
They're
fucking
not a bad
problematic.
couple. They're not a bad evil couple. And if you were gonna, I would kind of like them if they were like
maybe you can give the two of them an arc together, something like that.
That could be.
Right, that's what I was
don't-
thinking, like something in
I
Ledger
don't-
Domain, like more of their relationship. But also
just
their
don't-
relationship was a little weird because I think
Honestly,
she was
yeah.
like significantly older than him.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
like
Wait, how? Yeah, Charmcaster's.
They're
So
not
she's
like
older
that.
than Morningstar.
Yeah,
well, because she's at least.
but
a
also
few
Morningstar
years
dated
older
Gwen
than-
too, or tried to date Gwen too. So
They not
Yeah.
like,
Right, but he's probably closer to their age, I would think.
I'm gonna
Like
look it up.
Ben and Kevin.
he better not be older than him. He better not be.
Morningstar, another tally to the creepy
So
stuff.
she
he does
wants.
list.
So she want a man that's younger than him. Is that what you're saying?
Morningstar better not be older. I already got my
This
eye on
can't-
that. Bro.
This can't be true. It's on the wiki,
I
so
just-
take it with a grain of salt. It says he is 60 years old in the original series,
It's like 60?
65 in Alien Force,
Damn.
and 66 in Ultimate Alien and Omniverse.
How old
He's
is
old?
Stormcaster? How old is Stormcaster?
Wait, I thought he was like a normal like teenage boy.
Oh, he looks
didn't
I
good.
know.
thought so
Oh, he
too.
looks- Yo,
Well,
he-
the Ben 10 wiki says he's 15, 16.
Okay. Okay.
Oh,
so,
okay.
False alarm. Wiki needs to update their.
So it's
Yeah,
a Ben 10
I trust
fan
the Ben
wiki that
10
got it
wiki.
wrong. Wait. So Ben 10 fan wiki got it wrong. Damn, bro. They're always on top.
So we were
of
about
it,
to
man.
bring the torches to the to the.
I was like, what? That's a whole new layer.
He was gonna have to
Man, he's a
freaky ass
60-year-old
nigga. He's a 6'9"
corpse
guy.
walking around. Damn, man.
It's like this Avatar thing where it's like, well, technically 100.
Yeah.
You know, like
That ain't more
Yeah.
than stars.
But like,
Yeah, I think this episode
Dead
is
Star.
Yeah, I just think he works
Uh,
better as a supporting villain for a main antagonist. He can just
Yeah.
do
Bro.
it.
I wish this was a Billy Billions question.
well, okay. So that leads to, I think, another interesting question: Is there a villain that didn't have their own arc that you would have liked to see, like have their own arc, have their own larger story?
I would have liked to see something with Hex. I think.
Hex that nigga.
Like
Yeah, Hex is a big
how
one.
did he get redeemed exactly? I'd like to know. But yeah,
I
I
think
feel like they were
Zombozo
dropping
would-
some hints. Yeah, Zombozo would be cool too.
Especially because
Yeah.
he just ends up becoming a fucking zombie. I think we can scrap that. We can scrap that stupid ass episode he had in Ultimate Alien, and we can give him like a bit of a genuine arc.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I wish.
Wasn't the
definitely a lot of
headcanon
answers.
that like Gwen killed him in Ultimate Alien?
She
and
like
that's why
she
he
like
was a
fried his
zombie?
brain or some shit.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
my favorite villain, and I feel like the more complex villain in Ben 10. Personally, to me, I think Eon's one of my favorite fucking villains from Ben 10.
Okay.
And like
More
any-
info on
any-
him in general would have been cool.
Yeah, like I would have loved if they just dive a little bit more deep into Eon.
Yeah,
like how
Eon's
he
a bit of a
became-
weird one. I definitely
Yeah.
think he's wasted. He has a lot of potential. They definitely
was
don't
Right.
use it.
Like you got to remember, he was a Race Against Time villain. They made him canon
Yeah.
in Ben 10, and they expanded as much as they can with him. But I feel like they didn't do nearly enough with the character.
But would you want to see like an arc with like Race Against Time Eon, Ultimate Alien Eon, or Omniverse Eon, or maybe like a mix of those?
I feel like
Because they're
To
all
me-
three of them are pretty different characters.
are they different?
I think they're all
Um,
because one of them's like two of them are like an alternate Ben, one of them's an alien. But yeah, it's like
I want
weird.
the one. I want the Alien Force. I want the one that is Ben. The one that is
Okay.
I
Ben
would go with
who
Race
becomes
Against
an
Time.
evil Ben.
I think
I would
you
also
could
go with
build an
Race
arc.
Against Time.
I think you could build an arc around
Yeah.
the crony. See, little plug.
5 years later.
Yeah,
5 years
when I-
later.
When I
Yeah.
5 years later, and I did my review, I really like how they did Eon before he became Big Bird, and I think there is a lot of there's a lot of just like history there with his cronian past and how it ties into Ben. You know, I think that's cool.
Yeah.
Imagine Ben having to stop an alien race of time travelers, bro. That'd be cool.
Give Clockwork something to do.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, you can make him a focal point of the arc. Him in Paradox.
Eon is like one of the highlights of 5 years later to me, just because of like how much depth they give him,
Agree.
as opposed to how much he had. So it's like I literally would take like anything with Eon.
I
Like,
always like his design in each iteration of the series, like in Alien Force and Omniverse. Like his
The
design
ultimate
is,
alien ninja look is hard as fuck.
yeah,
he did look cool
go
in
into
Ultimate.
that. Yeah,
He had a cool voice too, until he took
Yeah.
the mask off.
he did have
Eon
a
never-
really cool voice.
Eon hasn't taken an L, bro. Like I would say, I want that character to be fucking explored a lot. A prequel special where it explores what would happen if Ben lost everything and became evil, straight up. And I know they did that with the Ben 10 reboot specials, and he became it's a lot different. No, I want to see full on evil Ben lose Gwen, Grandpa Max, and everyone he loves, and just full on go evil.
Yeah.
I feel like there are a lot of like evil Ben scenarios where you could do stuff that isn't Eon. But I feel like you could only do so much with like an alien Eon, like a Cronian Eon. I feel like that would be like just cool. Like Dan said, like to see how Ben would deal with like a whole race of like time traveling like aliens. Like I don't even know how they'd write that. Like that might be too much, but it's like yeah,
Pondering
anything
a video.
with Eon.
Dan is pondering a video talk about Eon.
There's like I have some hot takes that are more so like not that I want these, but like I would like to talk with a group of people, be like, okay, would these work? I think Devoid could be cool, like especially after Classic, where it's like he's like the like joke villain for like the entire show, and then for a season he's like, no, what if he actually like kicked his butt for like an entire season?
He just locked.
I mean, that's kind of like my same mentality with Hex, where it's like we see them at one point, and then we see them at the end of another point. It's like, how did we get here? So yeah,
I think that could be really sick. Like that entire like No Void thing could have been a whole story arc. Like I think that could have been, you know, like Grandpa away and like trying to get to him, and once you get to him, it's like, oh my gosh, like how do we? He literally owns the whole like No Void. He's the king here. How do we beat this man? I think that could have been really cool. And then again, you would have to completely make him a brand new character at this point because he doesn't really have a character. But I think Ragnarok could be really cool, like having a very like Kevin-centered season. It was like, no, this man killed my father. I know there's some controversies about the canon of that and stuff like that, but like, I feel like that idea, like him as a concept, is really cool. If you wanted to dive into that a little bit.
No, I think giving Ragnarok some dude be cool. He has a really cool design. I'm surprised they waited.
Yeah, his episode, like I still think is bad, but I feel like he definitely has like a little bit of an aura to him where it's like,
right.
I could see him being formidable in like a different setting. So yeah, I'm still like conflicted about how I feel about all of that. So it's like hard for me to like desire for more Ragnarok. Like,
that's fair. Like you would have to scrap it, start over in like a new continuity.
Right.
It's like, okay, he's just a completely new character. Rewrite him, reorganize him the way you want.
I would like an Albedo redemption where he doesn't go fully.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just what it should have been. Yeah.
Like did he need to go? Did he need to go like full like Marvel? Who's a Marvel villain in the wheelchair? I fucking forgot his name.
Oh, MODOK.
Yeah, he went full MODOK. I'm like, yeah, I want a redemption for the character. Don't make him full fucking psychotic, man. Like on his hatred for Ben, it's just fucking come on, man.
Yeah, he lost his motivations.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's answer a couple more, and we can send us on our way.
Yeah, these have all been good questions so far.
Yeah, I know.
They're all Dan's.
Favorite episode per series. So you don't have to name one for every show if you don't have it like at the ready. But man, I mean, let's start with you, SMV. Then if you already have yours, kind of.
I think for Classic, it's. Like I'm definitely thinking like more like favorite episode as opposed to what I think is the best episode. Like favorite episode for Classic, I love Camp Fear. I think that's like such a neat episode. It just has like a cool like aura to it.
On that one, bro.
I never understand what the big deal. Like yeah, like the kids are like kind of like corny and like, but I think it just has like such a cool like vibe to the whole episode.
It has a nice charm to it. It really fits for Ben 10. It's like it's the one Benson, even though like the big bad is alien, I guess. Well, no, he's not.
Yeah.
It's
just like a weird like mushroom.
Yeah, I think it works as one of those weird non-alien coincidences for Ben 10. It really fits in the vibe of the show.
I like that one a lot. So yeah, that's my classic pick for Alien Force. Yeah. I think it's kind of a boring one, but probably Alone Together. I think that's like a really great episode. You know, it kind of speaks for itself. It's just a classic. Ultimate Alien, Map of Infinity. That's probably like my favorite episode in the whole franchise. It like so much happens in it. You get the fight with Agror. You get them like discovering the map. You get them going through all the traps.
Yeah, that
Ultimate Echo. Ultimate Echo. There's so much stuff crammed into that episode, and I think it works like so well. So yeah. And then for Omniverse, I think it would have to be, and then there was Ben. It's like between that and like Showdown Part 2, but I think, and then there was Ben. That's just like, it's great. I get chills every time I watch that episode.
Chill, bro.
Yeah, amazing music. The performances are great. Yeah, so yeah, those are my picks.
For me,
yeah.
Oh, did you want to go first?
No, I don't know. Do we have to pick from every like show? Because okay, well then, Dan, I'll just confirm that. Dan, you could go first, man. I'm still thinking.
Okay. Well, classic. I think my favorite classic episode is probably what's the word? It's either Under Wraps.
That's a great fact.
That episode has so much fucking. That episode is really fun to me. Got to accelerate. The Mummy is one of my favorite.
One of the best fights in the whole show.
Yeah, it is visually such a cool show. It has a lot of those those like illustrated frames that pop up, all that good stuff. I feel like I have like a real answer for classic. I'm gonna look it up real quick. While I do that, I'm gonna give my Alien Force one because I know that the Gauntlet is one of my favorite episodes, bro.
Ooh, another banger.
Alien Force, bro. People don't like the Gauntlet.
Chroma Stone represent
fire. I just love the episode because like I think it's the perfect example. Somebody in the chat said it too. They love the Ben versus Cash episode. I think this is such a good representation of this new Ben we know, right? He's done with the childish bullying from Cash and JT, and they're still stuck in the past. So they trying to still bully his ass. Cash gets a hold of that alien technology, and he turns into a demon. And then I think there's just so much good characterization episode for Ben. It is so good. The fights are good too. The Cash versus Kevin versus Chroma Stone. While it's not the smartest episode, like Ben transformed in front of a bunch of people, but they never see it. I just really like what the episode gives you in terms of characterization. I really like that episode. Ultimate Alien. Hate the show. Don't have a favorite. No, I'm playing. I think my favorite Ultimate Alien episode, honestly, I think this is a tough one. It's Not Easy Being Gwen is one I really liked a lot recently. I really do like that episode, man. It's between like that one. Hero Time is another good one I really liked. Solitary Alignment. See, I don't have a favorite. I just like. See, this is really fucking up my hater agenda because I'm supposed to hate the show. I don't know. Yeah. They have a lot of good like one-off episodes that I really like, but if I had to pick a favorite, it's Absolute Power part 1 and 2. Can I pick the whole thing or just one part? If I had to pick, one part, okay, I'll pick both parts. Yeah, Absolute Power 1 and 2. Omniverse Showdown Part 2 easily. That episode changed me as a kid, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That episode changed me as a kid. Do anybody know about that? And then for classic, since I skipped it, Hunted. Hunted is my favorite classic episode.
Is that the Rojo one?
No, that's the one with Tetrax.
The bounty hunter one. Yeah,
I love that episode. The whole message of it's not about muscle. Don't try to muscle it. And then first off, that message is good, but Tetrax, that's his intro episode, and it's really good, bro. It's kind of like the first real piece of lore you get for the series. That the Omnitrix is like they drop some piece of lore. And I think it's when that's confirmed that the Omnitrix is like alien technology and all that type of shit, and what the name of it. I think that's when they learn the name of it. Hunted is just it's such a banger episode.
It is a good one.
Okay, I finally found the names for all of mine. I was like looking up. I was like, I love these episodes. Like, wait, what are their names? What are their titles? I have. This is a hot take for classic. I have Game Over, which like isn't like a deep episode, but
that was mine too.
Go in the summer game. Like it's so like creative and fun, and just like it's a filler, fun little episode. Like it's so much fun. Boring answer, but for Alien Force, I have War of the Worlds Part 1 and 2. That's to me just like peak Ben 10. Like that was my like Infinity War Endgame. Like at age 10, like I adored that. Ultimate Sacrifice. It might be one of, if not my favorite of the whole show as well. Like that episode, I think just I think that encapsulates like the whole franchise to me and like what it means. Like Kevin's speech being like, man, like you know he's selfish and he's rude, but like he's my best friend. Like you got to give him another chance. Like that is like, oh my gosh. And then Showdown Part 1 and 2 for Ami.
I love the Ultimate Sacrifice. I talked about that in my video too. How that episode, look, that is such
a fantastic episode.
That is such a perfect episode for us to like learn more about the Ultimates, and that's the only one we get. That's the only episode you get about the Ultimates, bro.
Yo, Ink Tank.
Ink Tank, bro. What up?
What up, lads? What up, lads? Y'all missed it. 5OL talk.
We're glazing Eon.
Can I
we talked about it for a whole hour and 30 minutes.
I swear I did not call him Big Bird again. Promise.
Yo, can I go my episodes?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
So for the original series, since Darren right here took game over, I had to pick my de facto pick. I'm gonna say the Gwen 10 episode is my favorite from the classic series, just because it just spawned a bunch of like it just spawned a bunch of like Gwen 10 like comics and stuff like that, and just a bunch of stuff like that you could have that the series did with the character. And I just like the episode overall. I know it's a giant what if episode, but I really like the
hot take about that episode.
Yes. Go.
I do not like it.
That's fair.
I think it's like fun, but I don't. Yeah, like it's.
Look,
I just like the role reversal of like Gwen actually like knowing how to use Yami tricks better than Ben.
I just think that episode would be a lot better if they didn't make Ben remember everything. Like I like Gwen having.
That was a weird element.
No. That was my least favorite part about that episode. That was my least favorite part about that episode.
It's such a clunky piece of like the plot that for
because what's the what if element of it then?
Yeah, like what's like is because at first you're thinking like is it time travel? Like it's kind of hard for you to grasp the concept. Like, oh, this is like a what if scenario, but he still remembers like everything.
Like it's our Ben, but why is he here? And they never explain it.
We just lost our Ben from that point.
No, if they were gonna do a what if, they should have definitely gave him amnesia or just not have him remember and just be a different timeline. But I still think it's a fun episode overall.
I don't remember what season that is. I think that's 2, right?
It's like the
that is
probably 2.
Yeah.
Because I think that would have been a good idea for an episode to maybe see him use magic, but that was like before they gave Gwen her magic.
Right. I just think his like unfiltered reaction to everything would have been a lot better than him just like, well, then this happens and then this. It's like, well, then you're kind of taking this.
Well, that's not how it's supposed to go. Like what?
Right.
Yeah. I also think another
because
episode from the original.
Oh, I'm gonna let you go. I just want to talk about the episode a little bit more.
No, you go, man.
I just want to throw the question out there. Like, how do y'all think he would have reacted without his preconceived thoughts? Like, do you think he would have been
probably
jealousy?
I mean, he still was jealous, but not jealous. Like he was almost acting like how he was in A Perfect Day, like the Forever Nights episode, where it's like he knows that it's fake, so he thinks he's gonna get out of it, so he's just like saying everything that's gonna happen. It's like I feel like he still would have been jealous, just probably in like a different way. Yeah, maybe like the No Watch Ben, he would have just got more into it with like the plumber stuff.
Yeah.
I think it would have been cool if like he probably still would have been jealous. I think it would have been cool if he kind of like a supportive type of person.
Yeah.
Like let's say he's jealous at first, but then he sees that he about to like people are coming after her. I think I like to give Ben a little bit more credit than I think he deserves, and say that maybe he was always like, even without the Omnitrix, he was always just like had this knowledge of combat. So like maybe he could have coached her through it, like he eventually does in the actual episode. But I think it would have came off a lot cooler if he just had that shit, like he just knew it, instead of having it having it be something he learned.
Like it's more of an instinct for him, and like Gwen like doesn't have the same instinct.
In the I think season 2 finale. Doesn't he get out the Null Void without the watch? I mean, like he's capable of like he's very capable without the watch, and I feel like what the episodes that do show him not using the watch, I do admire those moments a lot where Ben just can kick ass without it.
And also play. Sorry.
No, you go.
Also, just like play into the idea of how he hates bullies. Like, especially at the top of the episode, he like helps that kid.
Right? Because it would start the same.
Yeah. So like, end it with him being like, "No, like I'm jealous. I wish I got that." but you have the resources to do something on a bigger scale about bullies. Like you can help people in ways that I never could.
Because it is Ben in the original episode where he's like, after he detransforms his heat blast, he's like, I can use this thing to help people. I'm not trying to say Gwen is like trying to murder people, but I think it'd be cool.
She went bowling.
Yeah.
She did go bowling.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool if Ben kind of gave her that thought of like, you have this power and you can use to help people instead of just toying around.
Or maybe it would have been better if this episode was in season 3 and Gwen had her powers, and then if they would have done the what if, Ben would have had magic, and then
that's kind of what I was saying. Like you can do like a full reversal.
Yeah, so switch the powers up. That's it.
Or what does the Omnitrix user look like with magic? Right? Like what if she has her magic on top of the Omnitrix?
But then what is Ben gonna do then? Then what
give him a gun.
Give him a gun. Be like a weapons expert.
He becomes Lucky Boy. I guess. That's that Lucky Boy.
Grandpa must got a few extra switches around.
Yeah, he
got a few extra gats. But I'm gonna say I have episodes from Alien Force that I'm favorite and the original. But I'm gonna say another episode that I do like is from the original series is Grudge Match, where Ben and Kevin. Ben and Kevin are like trapped on this ship, and they have to kind of team up for the fucking first time, and they're stuck together. They're handcuffed together, and they have to team up, and it's by force. They have to find their way out of this. Like
that's another episode that I like because it once again reiterates that Ben's knowledge is something that like he's been smart. Like he tells Kevin how to use his powers effectively. Heat blast, fire, mixed with thing flies, goo, boom, nigga, you blow shit up.
Yeah, that's still like the first episode of like any of the shows that I remember seeing, and I think it's just like so good for so many reasons. But yeah,
I like that one more than Back with a Vengeance. That's like my second favorite Kevin episode.
You could definitely make a case that it's like same level, if not better. Yeah.
I know the intake might still be in here. I know that's like one of Curl's favorite episodes. I don't like that episode that much.
Yeah. But I think Grudge Match, like, it kind of sets up, like, knowing what we know in Alien Force and how Ben and Kevin make a great team. Grudge Match was kind of like that first, like, time we got to see the pairing together and how well they work off each other, and that's kind of why I like that episode a lot. It's
also the first real look at Kevin's mutated powers. It's when they really put him on display. And
he disappears at the end of Framed.
My favorite part of the episode is the end when he turns
with
into
Cannonball.
Because he's like, I got all your powers, and then he's like, let me introduce you to
no, you don't. And when Super Saiyan with Cannonball, he's like, no, you don't, bitch.
I guess you're introduced to Cannonball. Chills, bro. I get chilled every time. Chills.
It's a good moment. So I'm gonna have one last pick, and I didn't pick Omniverse because I kind of want to make this quick. But my favorite episode from Alien Force, and it's a funny one, is Connor Raff, where Ben, I think Ben has to make a delivery to a planet, and he literally the watch malfunctions and he becomes Raff. I think it's the first introduction to
that's Raph's first appearance.
Yeah, I think the best part of that one is seeing Raph interact with all these different villains, like Argit and the Vritos and Volcanus. Like it's definitely a genre episode. It's good.
Yeah,
it's one of Alien Force season 3's comedy episodes, but it's actually kind of funny.
Yeah,
it's a good one. I love Raph as an alien from that fucking moment. I really love the way he just fucking talks, bro.
That's one of those episodes that I'll put on just randomly, just kind of in the background.
Yeah,
it works. It's such a funny episode. It's such a good. I think it's also a good episode to probably introduce somebody to Ben 10.
Yeah,
because like I said, there's a lot of different villains in it.
It shows you a lot of villains. It has one of Ben's most iconic aliens, all type of shit. That's a really good episode.
You don't eat babies. Just sucker punches your.
You eat babies. It's not
Did you
cool.
just eat the baby?
Oh man!
Don't ever talk to me again.
Best clip from that episode is just Rast and everyone's reaction to the dude eating the baby.
Yeah,
it's such a perfect clip, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Wrath is like that one guy where it's like aliens are always very controversial. Each person has a different favorite, but I feel like everyone's like, yeah, Wrath is the GOAT. Like everyone,
Yeah,
I think.
I remember the crew was asked something like that, like, "Who's your favorite alien?" Everybody was like,
They all said
"Gotta be
Wrath.
Wrath." Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't met anybody who doesn't like Wrath. I haven't heard anybody like genuinely dislike Wrath.
That's why they brought him in. That's why they fucking put him in the reboot, bro. It's such a fun. It's just a fun alien to write for. I'm assuming it's like the best alien to write for.
Yeah.
Right. I would have been terrified of Ben Classic with Wrath though. Like that.
Oh my god, no restraint.
A 10-year-old kid in Raph's body. Oh my god, the impulse.
He might have suplexed Gwen. You never know.
Dude, he would have been spamming that like in the rust bucket. Oh my god.
He might have swanton bombed her, dog.
Oh man.
I think hey, I think it would be funny though if like Wrath was just super polite to Grandpa.
I'm sorry, Grandpa.
I respect you, Grandpa Max.
It's like when he's talking to Gwen on the phone in Ultimate, he's like, "Hello."
I love that.
When aliens use phones, like Echo uses a phone.
And it's like,
or Raph
where'd you get the phone from? You
Where's the phone?
Bro, you don't realize how big Wrath is because he holds the phone like this.
No, he's huge. Like when he stands next to like Kevin, he's like twice his height. It's like atomics. It's like you don't really realize how big they are.
And same thing with Gravitate. They get his height mixed up all the time.
That's a whole different.
Yeah. And Cannibal's always like either really small or just like giant. He's just ginormous. Okay, I think we're gonna go with one last question here. I could do this all night, but I feel like I have to say goodbye at some point. All right, let's see. Let's see what our final question is.
Let's ask the chat how many more questions they want. I can fuck around and say all of them.
What is your favorite fight scene from the franchise? That's a really good one to end us off because there's a lot of great ones.
It is. Okay. No, I'm letting somebody else go first. I want to think of a deep cut. I'm gonna think of
Me too. That's why I'm like hesitant. I'm like, what's like a cool ass scene I could come up with right now?
Oh man.
I'm gonna go first.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna go first. The first time Ben fought Kevin 11 on that bridge as forearms, and he fucking delivers the coldest line ever.
Yeah.
Like that fight's so intense. That fight's one of my fucking top like one fights in fucking Ben 10. It's just the coldness of like that line and fucking Ben's just fed up fighting Kevin. Like I fucking love that, man. I love that scene.
Yeah. Bro, Classic has so many raw ass fight scenes. I remember it was something I brought up in that one rewatch episode I did that I never probably do again because the series tanked. But like just watching. Like to start it off, bro, like the forearm versus like Dr. Animals Mutant Creatures, like the Classic has such a raw like fight choreography that like none of the other series kind of like come close to in terms of like feel. Like the scene that like Ramen mentioned, you feel like every punch, like they going at it, bro. They are going at it. And it's just like you don't really get that same vibe of these two hulking aliens duking it out like that.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about it earlier, but the fight with Accelerate and Under Wraps, like that's just, I mean, so good.
Yeah. I mean,
so many good ones in Classic.
Yeah. I mean, I think. Oh, go ahead.
I got a few favorites that I'll probably get out the way. Omniverse has like two of my favorites. Ben versus the Celestial Sapien. Just because I think. First off, Omniverse is probably in that category of just like having some of the best fight scenes, having the advantage of fight scenes because of the art direction. I really like that scene too when he turns alien next and fights the Celestial Guardian. I forgot his actual name, Warrior Gladiator, some shit. And like he just puts
Galactic Gladiator,
and he just puts all of Alien X's potential on display with the multiple clones. The beam stop thing, it's all just such cool. It's so cool. Another one from Omniverse I really like too is Feedback versus Malware. The past one. I forgot what episode it's from. It's 11-year-old Feedback versus Malware. The first time they score off. That one's really good because that one has a lot of that wasn't like Omniverse's earlier stage. So like the production value was up on that motherfucker. That one has some good animation.
That's like the episode with the Big Chill Predator, I think.
Yeah. I forgot the name of it though. And then another Omniverse one. I like Malware versus Diamond Head. It's just because I think I think it's cool that Diamond Head gets his moment against Malware. Kind of saying we got to get Vilgax. Yeah. I look, you got one for the series. If y'all still need more time to think.
I think for Omniverse, like one that I remember like being impressed by was Ben's first fight with Princess Luma, like in the gladiator ring.
Oh,
I think like some of the choreography with Shock Squatch and like
I forgot about really that one. That one is like the fight episode for me.
Yeah.
When I want to see some fights, I go see that episode.
Like that, like the camera movements and like
the
like,
big like, clash they have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I'm gonna say one more. It's a special. Is the Ben 10 Generator Rex special? The Ben Generator Rex fight is so fucking fluid, cool. Especially just seeing Ben in Generator Rex.
The music really makes that fight too.
For real, bro. And Ben, looking at Ben's like aliens in that art style, you're like, man, I really wish this was Ben's art style. For like the aliens look so fucking good in Generator Rex's art style, and it makes the fight so much better because Generator Rex is known for like those insane fucking fights. So it makes special so much better.
I really like that one too because we get to see him quick change a lot, and the best part too is that like Rex can dish it out and take it like he's countering Ben too. Like when he goes in the Diamond Head, he brings out the BFG. Yeah. When he turns into no, Big Chill's a later thing. When he turns into Raph though, they fight too.
Lodestar.
Yeah, like Rex. I like that they have Rex be able to keep up with Ben, especially
and they're saving people during the fight too.
Yeah. I mean, and also Rex, the nanites that Rex faces. At this point, Rex already knows how to counteract a lot of the nanites. So Ben is like At that point, Ben sees Rex sees Ben as another nanite, so he's just counteracting all of whatever Ben is.
I just like that they didn't glaze Ben, just have him like beat the shit out of Rex.
Right, yeah.
Or like make him super
They definitely could have done that. But that wouldn't have been
especially with Humongosaur. Like Rex low-key takes down Humongosaur.
Yeah, with the
I'm giving Rex that
hands.
Fuck Humongosaur.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, fucking Rex can take
with the whip,
bro.
when he ties his ass up and boom, bring his ass down the water. He has to switch because Humongosaur's a fraud.
I'm trying to think of like a good like Alien Force fight. I think the one with Cash was like really good.
You're finna forget the best one where he jumped Michael Morningstar.
I was literally thinking that, but I can't even count that as like a fight. Like that's just like an assault. Like
that's murder.
That might be the best answer, actually.
Yeah, like they destroy him, or Ben destroys him. I mean, yeah.
And it's like, Ben, why don't you do this literally every fight? Like you would win every fight you win if you just.
He ain't never showed that pressure to Vilgax.
Seriously, like what was like? Yeah, he really is not like Michael.
Someone in the comments brought up a good one. I do like season 3 Ben versus Vilgax in the second part of Vengeance of Vilgax.
Yeah, that's a pretty iconic fight.
Not the Cthulhu one, right? Because not the Cthulhu
one. Like the Gladiator one.
That was least.
Yeah. Okay. When Diamond Head comes back, Diamond Head.
Like that's just iconic. Like it's not even like the best fight ever.
Vilgax.
Because my least favorite Vilgax fight is where the fucking Vilgax is Cthulhu and Ben goes way big, but even way big's not enough. So he goes ultimate. It's so stupid, man.
Sleeper pick. I feel like Albedo's Ultimate Humongosaur versus like the army of Humongosaurs. I think that one is always like just like a fun one to watch. Where they're like all chanted Humongosaur, like crazy.
Sorry. You go. Another quick one where Upchuck, when Ben gets Upchuck and fucking defeats the Forever Knights.
That's pretty cool. Just because it's like Upchuck and you're like, what's he gonna do?
Yeah, like and he soloed Forever Knights and people be like, oh, Upchuck kind of. So I'm like, no, that man took on Forever Knights. I'm pretty sure he could throw hands, man.
Are you talking about in his debut appearance, or are you talking about?
I'm talking about like I think season 4 finale or season 3 finale. It's
okay, yeah.
Watch, yeah.
I think
nobody brought up. Oh, I'm gonna let you go. You might bring it up.
It's okay. I think classic season 1 finale goes up there where he's like quick. He has
I
to
was
keep
gonna
going
bring that
from
one up.
one
Oh
to the
yeah,
other.
Secrets.
They're on the
I watch that one all the
mountain,
When he
time.
fights Vilgax, that's peak. That's peak.
Accelerate
Yeah,
the Diamond Head, the Ghost Freak. It's
And
like, so good.
I really like how that scene is like structured. Because he goes from like fighting back to sometimes he has to evade, and then the big Vilgax punch, and he like opens his eyes, his Ghost Freak, and he's like, "Oh, thank God!"
Yeah.
He just, like, lands on the
Even him
mountain,
like
he's like-
climbing, or him like flying down his upgrade and then climbing Mount Rushmore's Ridge was like.
That's a bunch of nice detail. So when Vilgax comes down and then like he makes a smoke cloud, and then Ben comes through the Diamond Head, like it's such a well-made fight scene.
Yeah, he like breaks his hands off, and then they like grow back. Yeah,
yeah, it's such.
What about the Secret of the Omni? Oh, sorry. I was gonna say, what about the Secret of the Omnitrix where Azimuth gets Ben way big for the first time and he fucking solos fucking Vilgax, bro?
That just made me think of like another like really good one. The fight with Azimuth's dad from Destroy All Aliens. Where Forearms grabs the rockets out of the sky and like pilots them towards him. And they're like going to like Brazil and Bellwood and like they're
fighting all across the country and shit.
All different stuff and the pyramids. I think that's a really good fight.
Yeah,
they definitely like utilize that style like to the fullest with like all the crazy like camera movements and stuff.
You also got like Ben 10K versus Kevin 11. I see somebody.
That's a good fight. We don't really see much of it. Is the only thing. Because he's always they're always like jumping to like the next Kevin. They're always jumping to like the next room or something.
And then he's beating the shit out of him. That's really the time you seen him fight when he just wails on him.
Yeah. I wish we saw like more of it, but
I was gonna mention Ben 10 versus Ultimate Kevin. I was gonna mention the Echo versus Ultimate Kevin.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's iconic. It's like a short fight, obviously, but it's like he's him.
Yeah. I mean, it might be cheating a little bit because it is really just because of the quick changes. But the first Ben 10 versus Albedo fight, where they're going match for match for the
that one was really fun.
Just based because you get to see like 20 aliens.
I think those quick changes fights are really good because they really just show the potential of like what a real Ben 10 fight could look like when he's at his max potential, and you get to see a lot of aliens. Like that's why I like the one in Secrets, because he like the quick changes, the dynamic action in it. You get to see a lot of aliens. Like this is how Ben would like realistically fight in situations where he's not handicapped by the Omnitrix's limits.
Yeah, I mean, even like the one that I brought up with Luma, he's like switching from alien to alien to like try and counter her. I feel like that always works like super well.
I really love
because I never give up.
I really love the scene at the end of I think it's episode 2 of Alien Force when he's fighting the like hybrid for the first time. And he gets his ass whooped. Like he loves
Humongosaur.
I
feel like whenever Humongosaur fights a hybrid, it's like a good fight. I think
he's on Frog Watch.
It was fun to watch.
He's skinned his knee. It's like, oh my gosh, it's that bad. Like
he's tossing that nigga around. I thought you were gonna bring up. I forgot. I was thinking of episode 2 as like the second episode, not the second part. I thought you were gonna bring up the one where they fight the hybrid in the cornfield. That's not really much of a fight scene.
Yeah,
I just think it's cool. He pushes over the tower and then like he tells Alan how to do the heat blast trick, which we never see him. Yeah, I think that was cool.
Yeah.
I mean, him beating up Agragor, that's kind of like a given.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I love him throwing the house at him and like them going through all the other warehouses. Like that's just awesome.
Yeah, I also think like I think just because it's iconic and it's a large scene, but it's like when he puts on the Omnitrix for the first time in Alien Force and he fights Kevin, like that scene is ingrained.
That is actually a good
my
one.
Head. Yeah.
I wish we got more of that because that is a fun one.
Yeah.
We don't.
That's like one of the famous like black background fights too.
We don't really see Ben and Kevin fight like without any like like we don't see them just go like normal like base form fight.
Right.
This is the only time. The other time they fight, he's ultimate, and then the second time they fight, Omniverse is also ultimate. I was also gonna bring that one up. The Rooters fight scene where he takes control of him as Alien X. That's why I like that one.
That was just like a cool like surprise, like him even using Alien X. You're like, whoa, what? Like,
I don't know if this counts as a fight because it's not really a fight, but like when Gwen like scares Zombozo and is like, if you come near my family again, I will hunt you down to the ends of the earth. It's like, holy shit, okay, Gwen.
She turned him into a zombie. She scared him so bad.
Or, and this will be my last one, the swapping episode where they just have that giant bubble and they keep swapping like each other's bodies mid fights.
Oh yeah, I was reading about that episode.
What is it? Charmcaster, Ben and Gwen? Ain't that what that?
Yeah,
pretty cool.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. But yeah, I think with that being said, that kind of leads us to the end of today's episode. I had an absolute blast. This was so much fun. It didn't feel like 2 hours. It went by like nothing. Obviously, I want to thank everyone who was in the chat today. We had a lot of people. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to go one by one.
Ben 10 heroes rise up. Ben 10 homies rise up.
Hold on. Where's my... Did you get one with all of us?
I don't have an Omnitrix. I have this. I got the McDonald's toy.
Somebody screenshot that. Somebody screenshot that. Sorry.
But yeah, I'm gonna go one by one. You guys will tell me where we can find you, any other place you can follow us, what you're working on, all that fun stuff. SMV, anything that you want to shout out?
Just my Twitter or /X, SMV_of_heroes. Talk about Ben 10 on there occasionally. Talk about DC a lot too. So if you're into that, talk about a lot of stuff. So, but yeah, that's pretty much all I got going on right now.
Amazing. Ramen, what about you?
You can find me on Twitter at Ramen Retro. You can find me on YouTube. I make content on video games and stuff like that. Also, on my second channel, I also host a Ben 10 podcast with two of my amazing co-hosts, Professor Berg and Kai, and we break down episodes of Ben 10. We're coming back for season 3. We already got season 2 of Ben 10 already done, so we're bringing back season 3, and we're gonna break down every episode of season 3, me and my team. So be on the lookout for that on Omni Retro, and that's pretty much it. Find me on Twitter. So that's it.
And Dan, I think if this stream was any proof of it, you also have your own channel. Where can people find you?
Yeah, shout out to everybody who came from my community post. JJ Cinema, I believe the intake motto too, coming through and supporting our
that was sweet.
Y'all know where y'all can find me, man.
Cool.
Damn Boy Wonder on Twitter, Damn Boy Wonder on YouTube, working on so many great videos for y'all, man. Really trying to spark life into the Benton community. February, I especially got some great content, man. I got collabs, I got all type of stuff, bro. So if Benton is your thing, man, come check me out as well.
Yeah, man. Dan's been killing it.
Maybe shoot your boy a sub, that type of stuff, Yeah, you can find me at
all sub to all of us, yo. Even that
everybody here.
Come on, yo.
Absolutely.
Especially Darren.
Ben 10 fan club got stood together, man. Especially Darren.
Darren deserves love for putting this together. He is the man. He got this group together, and he deserves all the praise.
The head of the Ben 10 Illuminati.
Make sure
yeah, for real, man. He's like a rap.
I definitely appreciate that, and thank you guys for scheduling wise, because you guys were very flexible. We had some changes throughout the week where we didn't quite know when we were going to do it.
Calling me out, bro.
I am not. It's also me, because it's like, okay, yeah,
it was Dan's fault.
And also shout out to Des, who was able to show up for a little bit, but had to work.
Make sure y'all follow Des on Twitter too, man.
Yes,
he's great too.
Another Ben 10. Another person in the Benton spirit, Des like my big brother, man. I shout out Des. If it wasn't for him, seeing him on the bench in Twitter, I wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah, same. I mean, I always used to see him whenever when I
Yeah.
was first starting out on there too. Yeah, he's the legend.
Gotta show Unc some love, man. Gotta show Unc.
He has the best tweets. He has the best tweets in the biz, y'all.
Whoa.
Next to Dan,
Relax.
man. You already got all the tweets, man. Give some love to Des.
You can have YouTube. Give him Twitter. Come on.
All right.
Yeah.
It's my ego showing, I guess.
All right.
Season 3, Dan.
In terms of me, we have stream. Actually, I'm doing another stream tomorrow because it's just we had this episode so late in the week. After credits will be tomorrow. We're talking Skeleton Crew finale.
Oh, nice.
And join me next Thursday for another episode of The Pipeline. And yeah, without further ado, I will see you guys on the flip side. Bye bye.
Yeah, better turn the notifications on this channel too, or else.